welcome back to the lights. Oh shit. The lights of Lumen. Been a few weeks out, so I'm sure we might be a little bit forgetful, a bit rusty. I'll do a quick recap in a second. But as Hannah has found and is currently demonstrating, Roll20 is updated a bit as well. You can do cones and squares and circles using the measuring tool. It's now got a drop-down menu: line, square, circle, cone, and you can measure it from different points on the grid. It'll go from the middle of a square and all that stuff. So pretty awesome when you got your cone-shaped spells and square-shaped spells and all that stuff. Just in general, it seems to have had a bit of a tune-up. Old Roll20. Oh my god, it's even got effect. Oh, yeah, there you go. Did that. I can do a breath. I can do a fire breath from Morrigan.
Wait, didn't it have these before?
It might have had these before, but I was completely incapable of using them.
The premium. I can't even see it on mine. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because my shitty old computer. Yeah.
Slime. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. Cool. Well, I'll have to investigate those. I didn't even realize they were there before. And then the other thing is we are joined by my wonderful brother, George.
Hello.
Hello.
This is his first time being dragged down into the depth of geekiness. So everyone be very nice, as I know you will anyway. And he'll be learning, or don't. But he'll be learning stuff, and depending on what you guys do, he may not even join in today. I've got a fixed point where his character will come into play, and that's going to depend whether we get there or not on what you guys do and the decisions you make. So
he's so good.
You can what?
I can see him, and he's so good.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, anyone overly curious considered trying to be super careful and hiding stuff, but you can decide for yourselves whether you want to get the surprise later on or have a look now. But I agree, Kieran. He is excellent. Right. Well, recap then. So to remind ourselves overall, our young band of intrepid adventurers left their village of Lumen to try and find out what had happened to the much more experienced and capable adventuring troop, the Lightbearers, who are usually, every year, tasked with bringing back the waters from the Farspire Lighthouse to bring back to the Skysinger to be used to protect the village from falling toxic ash that comes from a great volcano far away. But this time, one of the trusty steeds of the Lightbearers, a very famous one, came back to Lumen covered in blood and looking rather startled. This prompted the village to panic a little bit, and without many other options, decided that this young troop should be sent out to try and even just investigate what happened to the Lightbearers. You had each kind of proven yourselves capable dealing with a kidnapped cat, or slightly not kidnapped, at Horsehair Hollow, and also dealt with some ash corrupted zombies on the night of the sharpening. The troops set out, and in travelling about 4 or 5 days towards Sea Spray, following the route that the Lightbearers usually take, you encountered some travelling folk, some combat with certain creatures, and some mysterious happenings, particularly with a dead body with its blood drained from it. Upon reaching Sea Spray, you made some friends at the local inn, the Salty Knucklebone, and began to try and investigate, try and find out clues of what's going on. You've had some success talking to certain folk who are slightly worse for it. R.I.P. Cadsworth. But some of the main threads to remind you, you've discovered in last session you had broken into the house of Sharice Cloudfeather, a prominent and successful local legend, and oh, Cadsworth, that's good to hear, Natalie. Prominent and kind of living legend, bard and adventurer that had travelled the Hunter's Coast, is actually also in league with a cult that worships Sulon Sek, an entity, a transcended mortal with connections to blood and greed and money. And the sect itself, you've uncovered certain medallions. Morrigan in last session deciphered some of Sharice Cloudfeather's journal, finding that the sect is called the Crimson Coin Conclave, and that there is someone in someone in Seaspray still connected to Abaris Usani that is part of the cult. Other threads, just trying to make sure everyone's all caught up with everything. You met and encouraged an interesting orcish gentleman, Armitage Funnelcake, with his pet partner, master. I'll spell that for you, Hannah. Sulon. Because like it's not the same. And the cult's name is Crimson. Encouraged them to move on because there had been some violence in the sewers, and a hunting party was arranged to head down and find the dragon. And upon meeting Armitage and his friend, the dragon, you could see that they were mostly harmless, and you encouraged them to leave Seaspray, and were successful in doing so. A little bit more of the recap from last session specifically. You were very careful and sensible in your exploration of Sharice Cloudfeather's home. You managed to figure out that something was up with the fireplace, this grand marble fireplace, using Morrigan's detecting magic and just general investigative skills. Also secret doors sniffed out by Revna. You cleverly decided to douse the flame in the hearth of the fireplace, and in doing so, greatly weakened the animated fireplace as it came to life, magical life, and attacked you, and managed to defeat it very handily. Scrick, who had been scared down into the sewers by a talking lock, returned to you, and altogether you managed to discover this mysterious room, hidden room of Sharice Cloudfeather, full of books, the mentioned journal, a walking cauldron, which you figured out would follow its master when commanded to, and its master is still Sharice Cloudfeather. You think that's how it works, and so when you tell the cauldron to follow, it starts walking, presumably towards her. You destroyed some of the ritual markings in the room, and discovered a carved-out chamber beneath the house, clearly used for draining the blood of captured victims. You set up the house to look like it had been robbed. The guards seem to have bought that ruse. Morrigan deciphered some of the journal, as I said. You found the medallions. You discovered that Jagged Filtria, one of the Lightbearers, seems to be a willing member of the cult. And special mention to one of Scrick's employees, Evel Broadbelt, who left with a big bag of swag from Sharice Cloudfeather's house. And then finally, your plan to get out of the situation without alerting guards. Squick provided the distraction, and did so very well, hiding it inside the walking cauldron covered in books. He was the distraction for the guards, which allowed the rest of you to sneak off into the sewers through a nearby grating. And Scrick, with an incredible nat 20 roll on his deception check, has befriended one of the guards in particular, who seems to have taken a shine to Scrick, and insisted on escorting him to safety, and even insisting on Scrick coming to the guard's house for dinner to meet his family. The rest of you kind of followed at a distance. and have found that Skrick left the walking cauldron in its stay mode. You can tell it to follow or to stay near a rundown, seemingly empty building in the Sailor's Berth district of Sea Spray. Woo! So I think that covers most of it. I'm going to move us over to the Sea Spray map, just so we can remind ourselves of the area. It is late afternoon, kind of cresting into evening. You did quite a lot of waiting in the house to make sure that you wouldn't be discovered rifling through things by the guards. You set up your ruse and waited for them to go by, and also if Charisse might return, but she hasn't. So it is the evening of the 10th of Old Sin. It is your 3rd day here in Sea Spray. What would you like to do? As Skrick is being walked, one arm over his shoulder from the guard, towards the residential area in the north of Sea Spray, which is up here in the top right, section marked 4. The rest of you are still gathered in this area, area number 2. But it's up to you what you would like to do.
If I remember correctly, we were gonna hide the cauldron somewhere up in the bushes up here.
Yes, I watched right to the end, and you have done that already. Thank you for reminding me. You did hide the cauldron. It has been successfully hidden.
Okay. And then, thankfully, past me has put my options on the board already.
That's brilliant. I very much appreciate that.
So we can go and see if Aberrus knows any more, but I mean, like if he's against us or whatever, then we can just get caught straight away, or we can go and confront him with the same issue, or we can just follow the cauldron and leave. But either way, I think we need to stay for another night because we've got to go send off Cadsworth before we go in the night.
Yeah.
I guess we do that.
I guess so, but what time of day is it?
Late afternoon, evening. High fire. The sun is beginning to set.
Yeah, probably not best to head out first thing then. So.
First thing.
Yeah, probably head out first thing.
Yeah, if nobody wants to go and confront Aberrus.
Nah, fuck that.
Find out any more about him.
Risk of being arrested sounds just too much complicated to me, so...
Yeah. And then before we go, send Cadsworth off. I don't know how much food or money any of us have, so maybe we should get some of that.
You've still got
just get the money off the librarian.
You've got that to cash in on. And in terms of supplies, you still have quite a lot of sort of trail ration-suited supplies because you were given 2 weeks' worth of supplies by your people in Lumen.
I literally have no gold
on the wagon, right?
or any money.
Well, we'll go get the gold from the librarian then.
Yes, Celia, you would note that Lorik, the man you hired to look after Gwilyn, is starting to look a little bit not shifty. That's the wrong word. Starting to look like you're probably the time you've paid for is beginning to come to an end.
Well, as expected. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're planning to leave, so he's done his job. That's fine.
Yeah. Would you sort of say he'd probably kind of be like?
Could he just finish up?
Probably my last night.
Yeah, that's fine. Last night.
Perfect. Cool. That's all fine then.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. So knowing what the party's planning to do, we can go back over to Skrick. Skrick, you are walked, not forcefully, but with great enthusiasm, I would say, towards the house of the guard, who his name I did finally sort out. It is... Put it on his token rather than in my notes. It is Ward Carfin. And he's enthusiastically sweeping you towards his home. Are you protesting or just going along with it?
For dinner?
For dinner, yeah.
Yeah, you go along with it.
Very good. With that then, I'll move us over to the Carfin home. So, as you're brought inside, the enthusiastic Rord, we can see here in the top left, a man. I've noticed that AI works very hard to make people either very handsome or beautiful or very not. So
Yep.
he's meant to be a bit more kind of averagey guy looking, but he's turned into like chiseled lumberjack man.
It's fucking Giga Chad.
Yeah, Giga Chad. Imagine him a bit more everyday kind of guy. But enthusiastically, he welcomes you into his home, introduces you to his wife, Nayli, and his 3 children, Joker, the boy, Rora Lynn, and Laylee. Little Laylee with the dopey expression. I love that art. They're all enthusiastic. They have a million questions for you, the kids do in particular. Rord introduces you to them and says how you're a book salesman, and dinner begins to take shape on the table in front of you. Probably the first thing he'd ask you would be whether you'd want to bring any of your family, because you might not remember last session you said your children would look after the cauldron.
He'd be like, no, we're feeding me this time, and we'll, maybe next time we can host your gracious family around my house, and it's not as opulent as this beautiful place, but, you know.
That's a lovely idea. So you'll be the tester for your family here. Well, we won't disappoint. And the food is kind of brought forward.
I don't have particular taste, so whatever you've got, I'm sure I'll find it delicious.
Well, I have to ask, the amount of time my dad used to spend talking to me about his wares, how are you finding apart from this last bit of nasty business, the kidnapping? Terrible. We must take you down to do a report at the station in the morning, but how are you finding the book-selling business? Are you certain? My dad used to say that, kind of chuckles and leans in, he's like, the raunchier books tend to sell the best.
Well, you know, books are a lot like people. Everyone's got their own story, and, well, each book is equally important. And, of course, the raunchier ones get used, but they wear up the hardest.
Very good, very good. And do you work with a supplier? How do you get your stock?
Oh, yeah, I was planning actually to go down to Crucible, restock my supplies, getting a bit dwindling down here. You probably see my cauldron didn't have that much in it.
Wow. Hear that, kids? Crucible. This man's up and coming. He's off to Crucible to stock up on his books. We've never even been, have we? All the kids are looking at you with a mixture of awe and amazement.
Maybe when I can get back, I can, show you some of my wares and maybe bring little ones a storybook or something.
The littlest one looks up at you and is just like, oh, please, would you? I love books.
Yeah, I'll try to find something, little. Well, you know, when I get back, I'll throw a big do at my house, and you're invited, of course.
I have to ask for a deception check at this point. As the story spills out from you and the lies add up onto themselves. Okay, pretty good. The children are enraptured, and the wife, who you can see clearly has elven heritage, kind of has this gracious smile and gives you a little nod as you sort of talk to the children about bringing them these books and tell them something of Crucible. Rord is over the moon, and there's many times when he kind of gets up to move things in the kitchen or bring you some things where it gives you a big hearty pat on the back, and you sense you're making yourself very popular with this family. Is there anything Scrick would want to do?
He'd enjoy the food. He'd ask the kid,
Like, you want to be big, strong god like your daddy?
to all 3 of them.
The oldest one would kind of look slightly bashful. This is the other girl, just here, and would say, I actually want to sail.
That's pretty cool. You could get a cauldron and like sell books on a floating cauldron. That'd be cool.
Where would I get one of those?
You know, they sell a lot of weird stuff in Crucible. I'm sure you can find somewhere.
Thank you. Mum, can I? And her mother looks over at you and kind of smiles and just says, "We mustn't impose on Mr." Did you tell this man your business name or your real name?
His real name.
Okay. On Mr. Squickel, Mr. Grumman, that sounds like it would cost a lot of money, and we don't have much to give, dear. She kind of pats her daughter's hand.
I don't know much about making money, but if you want to be a little sailor, you better get started well.
And he's gonna fish out a shell necklace he has.
Oh, very nice. She takes it and like her eyes, these green eyes, just go wide, as she holds it quite reverently. And her mother's like, "Say thank you, dear. Thank you, sir."
It's no problem. Well, it's fine as long as it, encourages your salesmanship.
And he looks at the dad and the mum.
Raud's just kind of like beaming with pride, and he's just like, "Oh, yep, I'll do everything I can to make sure their dreams are a reality."
And, well, for saving me, I made this little thing. I cooked it up on the road, and I want you to have it, Broad. It's not much.
But he gets it out, and it's the seagull statue that he made.
It's like, "Oh, that's a good omen, that is. Pleases both Saltcrest and, I've forgotten the name of the Sky Kietral. I'll look it up in a sec, but pleases the Kietral, that does. I'll put it in a prominent place," and he kind of busies himself around the room, and there's clanking as he moves aside plates and crockery, puts the carved seagull up on a nice prominent place in the dining kitchen area.
Nice.
Oh, you didn't have to do that, though. It's been a pleasure.
No, you saved me from something awful. I can't be not sorry.
Do you feel safe enough to go back to your home? Do you want me to escort you there after dessert, or you're very welcome to stay here?
Dessert? No, I can walk back on my own. I'm my own man. I've been in much more dangerous scrapes than that.
Thank you, Natalie.
The land of a traveling book peddler isn't exactly one that's easy.
Of course. It's a noble profession. You kids, you pay attention to Mr. Squickel. He's got a noble heart and a brave soul, and if my dad were here around, God rest him, sure rest him, it would have been an absolute privilege for him to meet you. I feel like I've...
Your family as well, they all seem very respectful.
Proud of them all. I'm a lucky man, and been proven to me today with our paths meeting, Mr. Grumman. Well, enjoy. This is Nayli's signature dish, and you can see she proudly brings out what looks like this wonderful aroma of like a peachy kind of smell from a large dessert pie, and she cuts a huge slice for you, Scrick, and puts it on a plate in front of you.
Eating something like this, and I don't know how long.
And you like wolfed it down.
Amazing. And the evening wears on. There's lovely talk back and forth. Raud offers you an ale to share as well as the kids are hurried off to bed. And eventually you're brought to the front door, and he places a hand on your shoulder, a big strong hand, and then pulls you in for like a bear hug, and just says, "What a day! Oh, I'll come by your place tomorrow morning, walk you down to the station, and we can make sure you're not waiting in line. You'll get proper treatment straight through to the crest captain, and she'll take your report."
If you don't mind, I'll be staying at the tavern tonight. I want a soft bed to sleep in, and, well, my family's got some business it needs to do tonight. So it'd be easy if we met there. I don't want you seeing in my house just yet. I need to come back from Crucible. Shape it up, you know, it's not looking his best.
You've got nothing to worry about, and I hope it's not an imposition, but it would be my privilege, my honor to check in with your family whilst you're away. Just, you know, keeping a guard's eye out, making sure that nothing's bad going wrong with the house or anything like that.
Right. That sounds agreeable. But yeah, meet me at the tavern.
Excellent. I'll be there first thing in the morning. An absolute pleasure.
Goodbye. I'll see you soon on the bank in the morning, I suppose.
He gives you a happy wave and sees you off.
Rick walks out.
He's like, I better find myself a family.
And like to the tavern.
Fantastic. Right, I did see your messages, Natalie and Hannah. Books to the library, to the bookshop is just about to close, but the manager looks overjoyed, and I can't quite remember, but it was quite a sum for each book. It was like 5 gold per book or something like that, and you guys got a lot of books. And you had the ones that Scrick just tumbled into the cauldron as well. And, well, actually, those are Sharice's books. Would you have... So, books returned that belong to the shop. I'll say, I think...
As well, to be fair.
Some of them are slimy. You probably could have, like, wiped them off and what have you. I think probably in total, I think it was like 5 gold per book. In total, I'll say it's probably like 8 books. And he's very pleased. You've actually brought this back to him very quickly, considering he only gave the request a day ago, I think. So 40 gold pieces are presented to you. You can split that amongst the group or however you like, but 40 gold pieces.
Can I like haggle a bit to see if we brought it back early? So
Yeah, like an extra little fee.
yeah, like an extra 10% or something.
I love that. Yeah. If you want to roll diplomacy for me.
Hold on. Oh fuck! Oh, fuck's sake! Sorry, I clicked on a tab which placed down roll 20.
No.
Just roll it for me. It's gonna take so long to load back up. So
No worries at all. Celia Brunt, diplomacy skill roll. And we got a +6. 15. You can see, as an experienced shopkeep, he is used to a bit of haggle, but he is very pleased by this. And yeah, he'll add on an extra 5 gold, so 45 gold pieces to be shared out as you please.
how'd you split that? Someone do the maths.
Can we make it around 50?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
No.
Fuck.
How many are we splitting it between? 4, or are you including Gwilyn as well?
Yeah,
Gwilyn.
as well.
Gwilyn as well?
Yeah.
So then it'll be 9 gold each.
Okay, that's 9.
Cool. And then Primrose, you take great care with Cadsworth body, which is, as you left it, it seems to have the forest or the woods, creatures haven't worried at it or anything like that at all. It seems to have been left. And you take care to prepare Cadsworth's body. Rid of the jolly music for a second. I assume, though, for proceedings, you want everyone to be there.
Yeah, wait till the proper time.
Yeah. And so, as Cena, relatively small in the sky, it's this time of year when Cena is furthest from Archivia. The great moon is still illuminating the ground in it is cloudless, and so you are treated to the sparkle of the stars. Cena and her two sons, the smaller moons, Lautry and Filtry, beam down, and you each take a moment of silence, perhaps say a few words for Cadsworth, an innocent bystander lost to the malice and the scheming of someone with a great deal of evil in their heart, Reese Cloudfeather. You can at least take solace in the knowledge that Primrose in particular, you were a sympathetic ear and a happy face that greeted Cadsworth in the woods before he passed away. You follow the full kind of traditional Hespian proceedings, placing Cadsworth on a slightly raised bed of stones and dirt from the ground. He is arranged in a kind of pose of peace, with his hands just comfortably down, resting on his stomach, one over the other. And you place firewood around his body and over his body so that he is somewhat concealed from you all as you set a light to the fire and raise praise to Cena and to Dark Moon, which is kind of the aspect of Cena that is the place that Hespians believe spirits go when they die. People travel to the dark side of Cena to be with their ancestors there and to be at peace. As the flames lick up and a small amount of smoke begins to billow up between the opening and the canopy that you found. You all kind of take a moment to think about the strangeness and the madness of these few days since you've left Lumen, the adventures you've already had, the cost of dealing with a malevolent force, a powerful individual. Move us back to the night page. And you consider all the adventures that Cadsworth will have had in his own life, and the reputation that he cultivated, and yet the kind of joyous, always happy, always positive demeanor that he brought along with himself. But you say your words, kind of make peace in the moment. Perhaps there is some regret, some guilt, but you know that you've done all you can for this poor victim of the Crimson Coin Conclave, and in particular Charisse Cloudfeather, who is seemingly now somewhere north, perhaps in Crucible, perhaps elsewhere. The Cauldron should lead you to her. Is there anything that people would want to do or say in this moment? Otherwise, we will move on.
Primrose will spread some seeds around where he's burned. But yeah.
Yeah.
Celia like punch her chest, like.
A salute. Yeah. The moment passes. You see you've done well. The smoke rises above the canopy off into the sky around Cena, and before long, the pile of stones, now hot with the flames from the flames, have the ash between that, with the soil there, is already returning to the earth. And with that, you head back to the inn, and you have your plans or whatever you want to be doing next.
Yep.
Are you all just heading to bed?
To do at night.
Yeah?
We'd go up to Pudley's room, knock on the door.
You hear a just coming.
Pud doesn't need your help.
The dishevelled face of Budley Fishburne appears from behind the door. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, Pudders, I'm sorry to wake you, but I got myself into a real situation.
Oh, well, you better come in then. Come on. And he invites you into his room.
Right, cause this is gonna sound real weird. Not that weird, but I think it can help me. Right.
I'm listening.
So, when we earlier today we found a cauldron and I was in and it can walk, and God caught me. I said I had a family. She didn't believe me. I gotta get a family together real fast. You think you know any rat folk around here?
He's kind of staring at you, but you notice with Paddley, he kind of takes life as it comes. He's just nodding thoughtfully. He's like, yeah, cauldron that walks. Yeah, sounds about right. Family, rat folk. Yep, there's a few rat folk off in the the south streets. There's a nice kind of older couple, bit of grey fur about the snout. They could be your ma and your pa, I suppose.
Is there any little ones? Like a real little?
There might be, not amongst the families I've seen, but you probably noticed there's quite a few of the little ones that live on the streets. They call themselves the Scatterkeys. They're kind of like a little little gang. They look out for each other. It's kind of nice, really. It lets me know they're going to be fed, what have you, and they only steal small stuff. I think I've seen a few rat folk amongst them, little tykes running around the streets.
They have like a base or something?
No base. They used to, over on the Sailor's Berth, round behind the Mar fishery, but they got chased out of there by the Baroness's guards and all of that. They just kind of roam around now. They sleep where they fall. Kind of blankets and odds and ends pulled over them. They'll shift from one place to another. They're not tricky to find though, if that's what you're thinking. They're always on the prowl. Just go walking round the lane where all the shops are that I've forgotten the name of. Lane of Wonders, with jangling pockets, and it won't be long before one of them's grabbing at them with little fingers.
Interesting. Are there any dilapidated buildings up,
And you save a location where the cauldron is.
any like old homesteads that are abandoned?
Oh, there's plenty abandoned over there. Used to be workers for the different fisheries. They used to compete, but the Mar fishery's taken all the business now, so a lot of the buildings are derelict, abandoned. Sometimes people are squatting them, but mostly they're just left. Signs of different times.
That's very interesting. You give me a lot to think about, Puddles.
Oh, I'm glad I could be of assistance. Don't suppose you got this walking cauldron nearby? Of course, I've seen one before, but it'd be good to check if it's different to the one I saw before.
Yeah, if I get a chance, I'll try and show you tomorrow. But you can't see anything, and
He slips a silver piece across the table. He's like,
you just keep it quiet here.
and like winks.
He does the zipping across his mouth gesture. He's like, "Your secret's safe with me, Skrick. You're practically family here. You've been working. We've been chatting loads. I'll keep the silver. Appreciate it, but no problem at all."
Yeah. Thanks, Puddles. You've been a real help. I'll let you get back to sleep now. I've got some work to do.
Right, you are.
Right.
Sees you at the door.
And not like in role playing, but he does want to stake out this area with the dilapidated houses.
That's absolutely fine. Anything anybody else would like to do in the night, or is it early to bed, early to rise kind of situation?
Celia just wants to set out ASAP.
Yeah, I think it's just preparing for the next day to
Yeah.
leave. Go tell the horse guy that we're gonna take the horse in the morning.
Very good. The horses will be saddled and ready to go. Your wagon will be prepped to go. And yes, Anya?
Do I have any way of maybe checking on Rolo? Probably not, right?
You have. This is a nice reminder. You all received those messages from the Crystal Couriers from
Oh, yeah.
people, and yours were from Rolo, Morrigan. So you and the courier is awaiting a return message, a reply from each of you. I think Primrose has already done
Mine.
hers. They were
Just send
awesome.
them out. Yes.
So the courier will happily take those in the morning. So perhaps Morrigan might spend some of this evening writing a message to. You
Yeah.
actually have to read it into the crystal, but
Okay.
someone can read it for you. So you'd still write yourself a script. So you can have a think about what message you'd want to send to Rolo.
Yeah, she probably just want to update her on what's been going on.
Yeah.
Maybe not too many details in case anybody manages to intercept, but
Okay.
just want to check that
Smart.
Rolo is alive.
Okay. So your main intent is like a general update, and you just want to know that Rolo's good.
Yeah.
As can be. Okay, so not mentioning about the conclave, the cult.
No, just in
Okay.
case.
Cool, that's absolutely fine.
I got some messages I want to send as well, actually. Now you mentioned
Amazing.
it. I will not send a message to my mum.
Okay.
A classic rebellious teenage girl.
Yeah.
I'll message Mother Bear, just simply like I'm like one of those teenage girls who sends like all her messages like the most brief like no emojis text kind of vibe, if you get what I'm going for.
Yep.
She just says to
No
Mother Bear,
punctuation.
blind spots watched and blade is sharp, is all she'd say to
Nice.
her. And Uncle Boone just says, I haven't got any stories yet. Keep well.
Excellent. Make a note to check back that. Check back in recording. Amazing. Skrick, you may want to do some as well, but it's completely up to you. You don't have to respond.
He wants to think about his goal.
Yeah. Cool. And are you all agreed that you're leaving in the morning? You'd have had plenty of chances to cross paths.
I am, personally. I
Rick
don't.
would say he has to go to a thing in the morning, but he'll meet them outside of town.
Okay.
To the north.
Yeah, as long as he's ready, then we're good.
We'll be getting ready in the morning. I don't know if anyone wants to buy anything now. We've got a bit of money. Wait for the shops to be open. Can't remember if we can afford anything, to be honest.
Depends what you're after. 40 gold's quite a bit. I know you each only got 9. But gold in Pathfinder is much more valuable than in D&D. So it depends what you want, what you're after.
I'm gonna buy like a healing something, like a potion or whatever.
Everything has its. No, I did what Natalie did. I clicked on the wrong.
It's easily done.
Healing, like anti-poisony stuff, maybe.
Healing potion. A minor healing potion is 4 gold pieces each.
Probably
Poison.
take a couple of them, I guess. Minor healing potion.
Very easily done. And feel free to roll diplomacy if you want to try and haggle. I've got a DC in my head. You'll only be negatively affected if you critically fail.
What's my diplomacy? Actually, it's not bad. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
Oh!
pretty good.
That's a critical success.
Oh, nice.
I'll say you actually get half off. So 2
sweet.
gold each on the healing potions.
74 gold. That's nice.
Freaking.
What else could I get? Trying to think. Are there any talismans or something that I could buy?
Absolutely, there would be. Hold on. An antidote.
Right.
So anti-poison stuff, you can get a lesser antidote for 3 gold pieces that upon drinking you get 6 hours of +2 to any fortitude saving throws against poisons.
Yeah.
That was another one that I just saw. Anti-venom potion. And when you drink an anti-venom potion... Well, okay, so that's actually a different style of one. For 6 gold pieces, you can have an anti-venom potion, which is like an active thing when you've already been poisoned. You drink an anti-venom potion, you get to immediately make a DC 10 flat check to end any persistent poison damage you're taking, and you get pluses to your fortitude saving throws to end any further effects of the poison. So you got the
I have the first one, I think. What was it?
antidote.
3 gold?
3 gold pieces, yeah. And if you want to haggle, just roll me a diplomacy check. It'd probably be in the same shop. So if you're shopping together and Celia's done the diplomacy, I'd say you could have a half price discount as well. That was a good roll.
1 gold silver.
Yep, 1 gold, 5 silver. Talismans. Let's have a quick look at talismans. Chuck this Teespring music. Teespring. All equipment. Great. Consume. Talisman tree. Yes, it is. God, I love the PF2E searching system. Let's look at some early level stuff. Oh, there's definitely loads you could afford. Natalie, there's the potency crystals, Owlbear Claw, Wolffang.
What's something that might suit Celia, do you reckon? You're more familiar with talismans than I
Yeah,
am.
let's have a little look. Bronze ball.
I looked at some, but a lot seem to require expertise and stuff, which I've only got intimidation as expert.
This one is trained in athletics. It allows you
Got
to...
that.
When you activate it, you get a +2 bonus to shove, to like an athletics check to shove. And if you roll a crit fail, you get a fail instead.
Meh.
Yeah. You've got one of those, I think. That's kind of cool. Trained in survival? Question mark?
Yes, I am actually.
There's one that makes it when, and you just attach it to your armor. If you're attacked by someone unseen, you activate it and you immediately get to know where they are.
Oh,
that's their exact location.
That's really good. That's like perfect for this scenario as well.
Very cool. That is 6 gold pieces.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have that. Fuck. Can anyone lend me a gold?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, thanks. I've got no gold left now. What's that called, Tom?
Hunter's Bane. It's in the core rulebook, so it should be searchable.
Yeah, I'm just searching it now. Thank you.
Hunter apostrophe S.
Yeah, I've got it.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got that.
Very cool.
Just looking through basic gear as well, but I don't think we need them. I think we've mostly got good stuff.
If anyone wanted runes put onto their weapons as well, you can pay for that here and they'll do it for you.
Fuck, I didn't even know that was the thing. It's too late.
This is a thing in Pathfinder where you can upgrade your items to make them like a +1 short sword or whatever.
Fuck, with how much would that have been instead of the thing?
It's called a... Let's just have a look. Give it a talisman.
Primrose will buy you a ring, depending on how much it is.
No, it's fine. We can. I can buy that instead of the talisman.
Where is it?
How's Baldur's Gate, by the way? Seeing you playing it.
Oh, it's delicious. It's so much fun.
No, don't.
Very, very jealous. Me and Hannah are considering
I
going
know.
on finance for a PS5 to buy it.
It is. It's an expensive boy, but yeah, it's fun. I'm playing a wizard gnome woman, and G is playing a human ranger guy.
Gonna.
And
I want to do
yeah,
Wild Magic.
it's fun. We're just
Sork.
like bumbling along.
Larian make really good games.
It definitely feels to me. It's just like it's more delicious Divinity, but with 5e mechanics, just like sprinkled on top like a seasoning. It's like you got advantage for this roll. But yeah, super fun. Tons of very Larian with like you get given like 1 million different threads that you can pull on straight away.
Very cool. Very jealous.
It's just gonna play Marvin and I get it.
I'm super excited for that. The character customization is really good as well, Kieran. So you could properly make Marvin.
Marvin. Hello.
Marlin Silverfish, as you imagine him.
Fucking paranoid android.
That's the one. God, why can't fundamental weapon runes? Here we go.
Don't worry too much. We can always sort it.
This is what it's called. Weapon potency +1 is 35 gold.
No, we're good. We're good.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to head out. I want to get out of Sea Spray. Like we've got a very clear lead, and Celia's very single-minded. She wants to get after it.
Yeah. Well, we still need to go to the area, right, where we suspect the light there as well.
No,
well, I think it's on the way.
Well, yeah, but it's assumably on the way based on the fact that the cauldron seemed to be heading out of Sea Spray anyway. So.
Yeah, you originally thought they might be near the crossroads, to the north. About 6 days travel north.
Let's get fucking moving.
Let's see how far we go with the cauldron, and then decide. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
So, Skrick, what was it you wanted to do in the morning?
Skrick is going to sneak out. He would have let everyone know, but he's going to meet them outside of the north of the town, somewhere on the road. He would write. Oh no, he's not bringing his horse. He would write a note to Pudley.
Okay.
Basically, one saying sorry they had to go north, so he can't do the report, but thanks for hosting him last night to the guard. I mean, he'd write a report of what he conceivably could have happened by him getting abducted.
Okay.
And he'd say to look out for the guard.
Yeah.
If he comes in, and give him the sorry note, I had to go because little Skrick was ill, so they had to go north quickly.
Okay.
And that, and the other one would just be a report about what happened.
Okay. How much detail's in the report? Do you talk about the cult? Do you just talk about?
Oh no, nothing about the cult.
Okay. So what's the report saying? Because it's made up, right? It's I was kidnapped by people.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Do you name Charisse?
No, he doesn't, because he doesn't want him to think that he's involved with any of that stuff at all.
Okay.
He just thinks he got randomly abducted.
Yeah, it's like I could barely see my captors. I think one smelled slightly of onions or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Cool. And what about your crew? Are you checking in with them before you go, or are you just leaving it to the whims of Soggy Bit?
That's why he's leaving early, so he could drop off the notes, go see them, and meet them on the outside of town.
Got it. Very cool. So yeah, the majority of you, and with Skrick's horse, or however you're doing it, get your wagon. You can see that your saddlebags and your trail rations have actually been added to by a thankful Zenthi Karosk for getting him his farm back. And you make your way with that little bit of shopping quickly out of Sea Spray and kind of wait at the appointed area for Skrick, who isn't long behind. And Skrick, what do you say to your crew?
Yeah, I'm going to be gone a while now. Things seem to be going very well.
As this area would definitely... Actually, no, it would be Soggy Bit would cut in and just be like, "Gone? You're gone!"
Oh, wait, I've got something for you, Soggy Bit.
And he'd give him 5 musical books.
Oh. he'd immediately start like arranging them almost like a big sandwich, like one placed on top of the other, and you can see him like sizing up his mouth next to it. Like, Soggy Bit is pleased.
Right. Right. So I'm gonna be away a while, and you know what that means? It means
He looks at, is it, what's her name?
This area?
Yeah, Visteria.
Yep.
yeah, you gotta keep my business running while I'm gone. I trust that you can make some good decisions, and I've got a little something to make sure you stay loyal to the business.
She narrows her eyes. And what
Gets
might
up.
that be?
Gets out 10 gold pieces, and he's like,
You
Shit.
make sure this operation keeps going, you know.
Is he giving that just to her?
well, when he does, he's like,
She's the bookkeeper. She'll pay you. Don't worry.
Oh, I see.
And if she
Yeah.
doesn't, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, her eyes glimmer, and she's like, I'll ensure everybody has what they deserve.
And I hope when I come back, you got more than those 10 gold pieces for me.
Who should we be speaking to in terms of a boss?
Well,
At
that's
the moment,
what
it's just us and you.
pay?
that's what the money's for.
No, but we collect trash and arrange it and clean up the streets. Are we being paid by the Baroness or the Seawall Militia? Or what is the deal?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, why don't you dress up in your finest ducks and say you're representing the business, and after you've done a little bit more business, and maybe they'll have something for you. Just drop my name in, they know who I am.
And one last time, who is they?
Oh, government, the steward. That's it, the steward.
Aberystwyth. Of course, I will make sure he understands exactly what we've done.
This is resident thief. Realised Scrick was at the house.
Well, the thief was there with you, yeah.
Yeah, who turned to him then and be like,
You did a good job last night.
Yeah, you see him kind of like in the corner, picking his teeth with a very kind of shiny, ornamental-looking dagger that you think you recognize from Charisse Cloudfeather's house the day before. He's just like, oh yeah, not a problem at all for the best thief in Sea Spray. Not really sure
Yeah,
what to
they're
do now
good.
that I've turned over probably the most wealthy house in the place. Maybe I should think about moving somewhere with bigger challenges.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe you should practice on some little ones. I could clearly see you from the outside breaking in down that chimney.
No. He kind of like flusters and drops the dagger slightly. It's like, you're just saying that. You can see some of the others are laughing, snickering behind him.
I'm saying you got style, kid, but you need a bit more practice. Why not practice on someone who won't miss their stuff, and every 10 days or so you can hit a big place. As you get more
10
confident,
days.
I think.
Fine. Everett Broadbelt's a team player. Kind of flashes a smile at the rest of them. I'll work on some smaller joints and then build up to the Baroness's place. That would be good.
Yeah.
when he looks at, what's the large guy called?
Silas.
He looks at Silas and he's just like,
You just keep what you're doing, big man.
And he smiles, and you can see the like bits of food in amongst his fangs. Just gives you a big, hefty thumbs up.
yeah, and he'd look at, the
Heffrey,
final member of the group.
the nervous one.
How you feeling?
Well, it is not exactly a dream, but I am alive, and these fine folk are quite fun to be around once you look past the obvious issues.
Yeah, that's what they say about me.
Yeah, he turns back.
Maybe hire a few more people like our good friend here, and we can keep this on the down low. You decide what to pay him. Obviously, not too much.
Zesaria would wink at you and just be like, "That won't be a problem."
I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll bring some word from up north, see if I can expand this little operation a bit. I might even use the crystal relay to message you all, see how it's going.
You'd see Silas hasn't understood half of what you said. Zesaria gets like an impressed kind of nod, and Kefri and Evil, you can see are already kind of whispering back and forth about something they're arguing over. Soggy Bet calls out from behind. You can see whether it's like a way of dealing with his trauma or an affectation. He's gotten himself a little bottle that he kind of sits in when he's not doing anything else. And he just calls out as the bottle kind of rattles from side to side. And he's just like, Soggy Bit has decided that meeting Big Rat Man was a good thing. Soggy Bit will miss Big Rat Man.
Well, I'll miss you too, Soggy Bit, and
He looks at everyone else and he's like,
make sure Soggy Bit gets some books to read. Don't want him to go starving.
Given he's trapped him, oh no, he saw him trap someone else in a bottle of vomit. Soggy Bit makes very questionable decisions.
Yes, he does. Soggy Bit absolutely does. This area would cock an eyebrow and just be like, "Yes, I've been wondering how we work with our interesting colleague, but it seems like books are the way forward."
Yeah, Soggy Bit's got some unique skills. It might be good to get him to work at some point, and books might be a way to do that.
Understood.
Right. I'm gonna leave now. So you better all, get to it. And I'll be back at some point, don't worry.
Yeah, you get a variety of kind of salutes and gestures from each of them, and as you leave, you sort of hear a little Soggy Bit as he's picked up on top of or the crate his bottle's sitting on is picked up by Silas moving it, and you hear Zesaria shouting at Silas to put the crate down, and you get the feeling that's probably their standard working situation as you head off to rejoin your companions.
as he leaves, he just says to himself, he's like,
Squirkel, you really are a genius.
And it doesn't take long, a few minutes, 5-10 minutes of walk over a kind of brow, a crest in the road, the beaten dirt path out of Sea Spray to the north. And you'd actually pass people coming into Sea Spray. It's still very much kind of high season for tourists coming from Crucible. You can see ornate wagons, many guards, the finery of nobles sat inside, passing you on their way into Sea Spray, and you get a few nods because you've still got your nice kind of garb. But within a few minutes, you find yourself alongside your companions once more. The wagon, the horses, all ready to go.
yeah, at this point, he'd jump in a wagon and change into his shittier clothes and he's like, let's get going.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Who's driving again? Was it Scrick last
It
time?
was
I can't
Scrick
remember.
before, yeah. Because the
Cool.
horses are his father's. He's got some experience with them.
Right, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
Just some fine business back there. I hope you're all paying attention.
Nope.
Cool. Right, back out on the road. So we're back into traveling. Now, this road is a bit more established than the one between Sea Spray and Lumen. It is still a dirt path, but there's scatterings of kind of gravel and some marking stones every now and then. It's a bit wider. It's more frequent that you have people sort of coming the other way. And you definitely notice that the traffic is more from Crucible to Sea Spray at the moment. or wherever they've come to Sea Spray. But could I have, please, a D20 roll for the day's travel? This is just a flat check, no modifiers or anything.
8.
Are we slowed down by this very slow cauldron or not?
I hadn't considered that. That's a very, very good point. So,
Why, Hannah?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
well.
I do.
No,
remember it saying
actually,
it goes
no,
25
fuck it, no,
foot,
fuck
so-
it, no. I've got a way of circumventing shitty cauldron.
Come in.
I'm gonna pick it up and put it in the car, and it's gonna keep like banging into the front of the cart, right? Like moving. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Fantastic. And you literally have like a cauldron compass in the back,
Yeah.
whichever way it's trying to walk into.
Damn straight we fucking do. Fuck you, Hannah.
Yeah, the walking cauldron has a normal 25 feet. Right, with that roll, could I have a D10, please?
Absolutely. 7.
Okay. Very cool. So, you set out on the road. The weather is fine. It's been a long patch of sunshine and clear skies for a while now. Yeah, but even since you left Lumen, the grass is starting to look a bit parched. The grassland around you. The terrain here is kind of rolling hills, grassland. You can see the coast off to the west as you trundle along on the path. About 2 or 3 hours into your journey, it's coming because you set out quite early. It's not even noon yet. You are still fairly early in your trip. There's still fairly frequent carriages coming the other way. Could I have literally any dice, please? I just need an odds or evens coin flip.
11.
Odds. Okay. As you're heading along, you notice off to the side, probably about 50 to 60 feet off to the side of the road to the east, you notice what used to be a copse of trees. A number of large trees were clearly grown there in ordered ways, perhaps like a lumber camp used for wood supplies in Sea Spray, and the trees have been chopped down, and whether through wastefulness or poor planning, quite a few of the trees, maybe 3 or 4 of these large trees, were felled and left there, and you can see even from where you are on the wagon that the trees have been there a little while, and through natural processes have kind of rotted down a bit, and there's a bumper crop, a kind of a blossoming of mushrooms across the trees, and you each recognize these as a type of mushroom that is very tasty and used frequently, dried as trail rations or kind of fresh in food for the day, and it just looks like this huge crop of mushrooms across these felled trees off the side of the road.
Go on in, Primrose, go again.
Okay, I'll go get it. I could put it in a nice stew. We can have it. They were quite tasty, and she just rides off and starts to pick some.
Yeah, and
Just look.
it looks like not unnatural. Like, it doesn't look magically enhanced or anything, but this is like, it looks like it's been the perfect storm for these mushrooms. Like the shade from the other trees maybe allowed them to grow, and the moisture level was perfect, and there's just these plump, fruiting bodies of these mushrooms all across the tree. You begin to kind of dig in and harvest them with your skills. You absolutely know how. Could you just roll a nature check for me, please?
Wow, these are some perfect mushrooms. Maybe I should leave down some, whatever mushrooms used to pollinate things. There you go.
Celia just look at Morrigan and be like, don't some mushrooms have a hallucinogenic effect?
Definitely, but I kind of want to see Primrose tripping.
I'm curious.
However, now I've thought about it, I think Skrick on some kind of drugs that's probably not a very good idea. He's pretty weird normally.
She's nodding along furiously.
I'm already working my next persona, you'll see.
That's what we're concerned about.
Well,
24.
I'm just gonna say there's a storm coming.
Okay. Primrose, with your knowledge and experience, the majority of these mushrooms are exactly what you think. Tasty. They will add to your rations if you want. They will ease the burden and bring quite a lot of flavor and joy. They're a treat to your meals. But with a hovering hand as you were kind of enthusiastically plucking them, but that little thought of maybe I should save some of these for the local kind of ecosystem, that thought saves you as you stop your hand moving and recognize that some of these mushrooms, maybe 5%, 1 in 20 of these kind of mushrooms, are false mushrooms. They are a toxic fungus that is. It has evolved to look just like the others as a way to kind of spread itself in the guts of other things, but it is poisonous, quite nastily so. And your hand stops above it. You know that you could attempt to harvest these mushrooms as a potent poison with your skill as a herbalist. You could try, and Morgan as well, you could work together to try and render this into a usable poison that could be quite effective. You think it would be an ingestion poison, so you couldn't like put it on your weapons or anything, but you could sprinkle it in someone's food or drink, and it would give them quite a few symptoms, but essentially put them out of action for a good day, really, at least. And if you put enough in it, it could be lethal. But you also know that in harvesting them, there is a risk that you might experience some of the poisonous effect yourself.
No, she's not really a poisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I'll just take these good ones and don't really want to leave these for some innocent person to come and just get poisoned. Primrose will just stand back. She's just gonna sort of shoot water at them, spout them all,
100%.
make them like go away, unconsumable from a distance.
Absolutely easily done with your skill. You know exactly where to kind of like break them and pulverize the bodies of the fungus and cover it with dirt and such. With your cantrips, your mastery, your growing connection with nature, you're able to do so. And it makes for an interesting sight for the conversation had back by the wagon. As you're talking about tripping and such, you suddenly see Primrose start attacking the mushrooms in front of her. But yeah, it only takes maybe a minute or two, Primrose, and you feel confident that you have kind of scoured the area for these poisonous mushrooms.
Yeah, she puts all the good mushrooms in her basket, and this is quite a good little place for things to grow, though. So maybe some of these. And she'll just put some nice little seeds down to grow for whoever walks by next.
Wonderful, and you think with the exactly with the mushrooms growing, this is a very fertile area. Fantastic. So, as you come back to the car, and you know you've kind of supplemented your supplies, you've got nothing to worry about supplies-wise at all. You head back on the road, and as you get towards the end of your traveling day, you come to a crossroads. You knew about this already. This was on the map shown to you by the Diamond, the Elder Council back in Lumen. The road splits here between a coastal road, which is known to be less well maintained, more chance, if you like, of environmental hazards. Sometimes, if it's a rough sea, if the weather shifts, it can kind of wash away the path, make it difficult for your horses and wagons to go by. Very beautiful along the coast. Or there's the inland path, the more commonly walked one, a much better maintained road. But with the higher level of traffic on the road, there's also a higher chance of bandits and kind of potentially dangerous interactions with people. So it's a choice really of potential environmental problems or potential creature or encounter problems.
I think we should go the way that the light bearers might have gone. Just in case. But anyone else?
Probably makes
like-
sense.
Hard one, right?
What?
I think the light bearers would have gone by the coast, so they look all fancy on their horses, you know, for a
Maybe.
picture.
I think it's more likely the light bearers went to seek out danger, right?
At the sea, the biggest danger of them all.
There's some
I
logic
don't
in
know
that.
now.
I think we should go seek out the monsters and such, because I think that's where the light bearers would have gone.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they would have wanted to deal with them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so. Let's go that way. Points to the right.
Okay.
And
You travel only maybe half a mile or a mile up the road, as this is right at the end of your traveling day, and you head off to the side of the road. Your choice made, and you kind of pitch your camp, circle the wagon around the horses, and get ready for a night of rest.
Yeah.
It's the old token, old token, old token. Bad, bad, bad. And as you settle down, you know that you're a day's travel closer to maybe finding out what happened to the light bearers. All the things you've learned, the worrying knowledge about Jagged Filtria being in this cult, the whereabouts of Charisse, Cloudfeather. Lots to consider. Gwilyn, I think, would say to you, Celia, that she's very pleased to be out of Seaspray now, to be away from kind of the criminal elements that were looking to take her back to her father, and her having to wear the mask. She kind of thinks, or asks you, like, can I stop wearing this thing now? I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. She kind of breathes a big sigh of relief.
I don't know. City's not really what you expect, right?
I know there's so much going on in there. I got in with a guard, I got in with a steward.
I was talking to Gwilym, Scrick.
I was talking to myself, Celia.
Love you too.
Gwilyn would smile. She'd be like, yeah, Dad used to talk a lot about Crucible with a real admiration and almost kind of creepy admiration, but there's a lot. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the peace of Lumen. It's exciting. It's exciting being out here, but
I guess. Sorry, go on.
the exciting part is just finding stuff out and trying, and everything we've done as a team, but all the busyness in Seaspray, I don't know if that's for me.
Yeah, I guess I
She's over on her butt into the conversation.
Fuck me.
Since we're all talking to each other, I'm going to agree with Gwilyn, because, you know, I really didn't like that place with all the artificial trees.
Come on, guys, like. She just kind of sighs and just looks around at everyone who's clearly joined in the conversation at this point, and it's just like, it's not exactly, it's not Lumen, is it?
No, it's really not, and I miss Lumen. I don't know if anyone else does. Dandy does, and she holds him up.
I do.
Leaves.
I kind of expected the cities to be like a bigger Lumen, but they're not. So they got their own shit going on.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when all those kids threw vegetables at us. I thought I was trying to be nice, you know, like I give things away in Lumen. I don't know.
You guys gotta stop thinking like country mice and start thinking like city rats. I got a lot of pies in that place and I can't wait to go back.
Oh, well, I'll go back with you, but it's just about maybe in the distant future.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let my prospects blossom into something big.
Yeah, we'll maybe bask in the nature a little bit longer. This is better, I think. She sort of motions to the environment that they're in.
Well, I'm looking forward to going back to Lumen too, so they can see these fantastic duds I picked up.
And he like starts playing with his hat.
I'm sure they'll really like it.
I'd even try to reinvent myself there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope your business goes well in Sea Spring.
And there might be a daddy bear. There might be a mother bear, but wait until the rat daddy comes back.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Gwilym would laugh at that and kind of link her arm into Celia's as you're all sat around the fire. And kind of rest their head on Celia's and just be like, yeah, you're not the only one with a makeover scrick. I don't know what my mum's going to think of. And she kind of like shakes her hair down so it kind of tumbles onto Celia's shoulder.
Celia smiles but doesn't say anything.
What about you, Morgan? Do you miss Lumen?
I'm not sure. I miss Rolo, definitely. And I miss rain on the roof.
That's something.
Yeah, I'm still never entirely sure where feels like home most of the time.
Oh, I miss my farm. I miss my family. I miss my sisters. I miss my mom. I miss all my vegetables. I miss all the fruits. Oh my gosh, the fruits as well. And I miss the farmers market. I miss everything. Gosh, Dandy, we have to go back at some point.
Don't worry, Primrose, we'll get back. Definitely.
We will. As soon as we find out what's happened to the light bearers, and find Charisse. I wonder where she's gone.
Yeah, it's maybe. Wait, hang on. We can figure out where she's gone, though, can't we?
Yeah, we're following the cauldron right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't know where exactly she's gone.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, Primrose settles down, feet into the soil.
Yeah. As you all kind of gaze into the flames as they die down a bit and sleep comes to each of you. And the dawn of the 12th of Old Sin, 3 days from the end of the month. Months are 15 days long here. Ooh, why can't I find my map? There it is. You strike ready for the day. Anybody who wants to prepare anything differently, please do so.
Yep.
Morrigan, would you have been working on deciphering the journal, kind of in the downtime in the evenings?
So, probably doing that and, maybe preparing some healing stuff.
Yeah, working on that as well. I'll keep that in mind. Cool. After a few nights, we'll have a roll, I think. Cool. So, with another day's travel, you begin to make your way along the right-hand fork in the path. Again, similar to your first route out of Sea Spray, it's a wide, well-trodden dirt path, occasionally bits of stone and gravel to delineate it from the grassland, around rolling hills, copses of trees, and a fair bit of traffic on the road. Could I have another D20, please?
$16.
Okay. And a 60. I think 16's actually. 2. grasslands. Yeah. You find yourselves traveling efficiently throughout the day. The sun is high in the sky. Occasional breaks for the saddle sore folk, and perhaps swapping in and out of the resting position in the wagon. The cauldron continues to bump, kind of this dull, almost bell-like tone as the empty cauldron dong dong against the wooden barriers in the wagon. But the day passes without incident. High fire up in the sky. You find yourself traveling effectively onwards. Another 30-ish, yeah. On the road. In the interest of keeping the travel moving, is there anything anyone would want to say or do on this day, or shall I just take us to the next day of travel?
Next day.
Yeah, next day. I don't think there's anything significant.
Cool.
I could just reply to the Elder Council thing about the missing silver letter opener.
You would have had to do that in Sea Spray on your way out.
Oh, cool. That means he doesn't have to. Sweet.
Very nice. Yeah, the messages go through the courier, and the courier was in
Oh,
Sea
okay.
Spray.
Very
It's all
cool.
good. Cool. So, another day on the road. Another D20, please. 2 out of 6 days of travel towards the crossroads.
3.
Okay. And then a D10.
7.
Okay. Thank you. This day, similar in the morning at least. Clouds are beginning to gather overhead. You think perhaps the end of the sunny spell is upon you. The weather is starting to shift. There's a feeling of the temperature dipping a little bit as well. A slight chilly breeze to the air. As you know, seasons can shift in Archivia at the drop of a hat. But you're still fairly comfortable. Perhaps you tuck yourself into your clothes a little more, do up your sleeves. But the morning passes fine. But in the afternoon, as you're making your way along the path, you can see the path winds between 2 hills, and one hill on the left actually has like a cliff overlook. It's a bit harsher in the terrain, slightly rocky. And on the right, there looks to be the ruins of an old watchtower. The stones tumbled down, and all that's left is the kind of almost skeletal remnants, this circular formation at the bottom, tumbled inwards, old mossy stones now left on the ground, like old memories. And as you're going along, there's a sudden commotion as a huge boulder tumbles down from above the cliff side, suddenly loud and clattering with the sound of falling stone as the boulder comes tumbling down in front of you. Your horses kind of buck and whinny and push back from the boulder in front, scattering slightly backwards. This all happens in a moment. And as you do so, you see the shape of figures up above on the cliff edge emerge, and one of them cools down and just says, "Give up Gwilyn Oakleaf and you can leave with your lives." There's a tense moment. Does any of you respond?
Let's get ready to fight.
Scroke would just
You
call
can't
out.
have her!
Oh, Primrose first.
I just said, you can't have.
Can't have her. And what does Scrick say?
Who's that?
So as these mixed messages tumble up and echo slightly off the cliff, and as the dust settles from the fallen boulder around you, missiles begin to rain down from above, and we will go in to battle.
With
You should find yourselves bottom left of the screen is daytime. I've got dynamic lighting on to represent the large things that block your vision, but you should be able to see yourselves just there. I haven't included the horses and the wagon on the map at the moment, as they aren't really relevant. If you want to try and continue fighting on the horses, there will be checks involved, and they'll be particularly difficult because the horses have been scared so much by the boulder falling down and everything in front of you. But if that's what you want to do, I'm, of course, always open to it. But for now, if you could please roll initiative for me.
Yeah. Oh, press Dandy instead, but doesn't matter.
Always catch my wrong layer. Initiative. And Gwilyn. And George, if you're there.
Oh.
G-Biz. Probably should have given you more warning than this. George Clements.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Could you
Uh.
roll initiative for me, please?
Yes. One sec.
You need to roll initiative as well, Anya.
Initiative.
Make sure to click on your token first.
You can't tell me what to do. Also,
There it is. Got it.
Nice.
sorry, my laptop is saying it won't
Press it.
display the page because of dynamic lighting.
It won't display the page because of dynamic lighting.
It says my device does not support dynamic lighting.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
Just turn it off.
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Thank you. Oh no, it's doing it now.
Okay,
Sorry, as you were.
no worries. So, obviously, an interesting setup for everything coming together. But yes, George, Preep, you and your current band are trying to capture a particular woman, a young woman, Gwilyn Oakleaf, as she has been. A notice has been put out, like a reward for her capture and bringing her to Lumen Village. So your current sort of gang leader, the gnome, just here, whose name is Yerky the Patch. He has an eye patch. Has thought it would be a good idea to capture Gwilyn and get the reward. But you're currently working with them. Okay.
Understood.
Very cool. So, the combat begins. A brutish-looking orc comes running down the hillside. Oh god, the new things are so big. Stride to here. Runs right up to Celia. And with his knuckle dagger, it's just going to make a melee attack for an 18 to hit, which I don't believe does. The sharpshooter, nestled up in the tree with a crossbow, is a dwarven fellow He's going to unleash a shot at Celia. A 20 to hit Celia. Still does not hit. And it's going to spend a second action to reload the crossbow. And is then going to try to hide. Fails to do so. Kind of repositions within the boughs of this tree about 15 feet up, but fails to make any meaningful difference in terms of cover. Willen. Hearing everything going on, she's smart enough to know she should back up. So she's going to stride backwards. And then get out her short bow as an action and shoot. It's a normal shot. Celia, it is your turn.
Fuck, I'm back just in time.
RB.
I'm back. Sorry.
Hey, good timing, that's alright. Just got to your turn. A brutish orc fellow ran out and tried to punch you with a punch dagger, almost like a knuckle duster with a point on it.
Of course he
But
did.
failed.
Let's start off with 2 actions for a power attack.
Very nice. At 20 hits.
Do I hear a point for a crit? Nah.
Okay. So
And then I'll raise my shield as my last thing.
doesn't power attack do extra
Oh,
damage?
it does. Yes, sorry. It does. An extra die, so D8.
Yeah.
So an extra. Fuck's sake.
Plus
1.
9.
And then
No,
I'll
a hefty strike,
raise my shield.
rending some of the orc's kind of shoddy looking armor, badly hurting him. Raise your shield. Very nice. Skrick, your turn.
And Skrick, recall any knowledge about this guy with a knuckle dagger?
Absolutely. Could you roll? I think it'll be society, but let me check. Yeah, society, please. That is a failure. Do you want a hero point?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Oh, that is a critical success.
Oh, sweet. That means he advantage on him for 10. Well, not advantage. It's flat-footed to Skrick for 10 minutes.
Very nice. Yeah, this guy looks like a pretty kind of shoddy run-of-the-mill bandit trying to use strength rather than anything else. His will save's terrible. Probably the only useful thing. You see he has some javelins, but also you know that orcs can sometimes, people of orcish kind of heritage can sometimes shrug off grievous blows. They have a reaction when they're reduced to 0 HP to instead go to 1 HP and increase their wounded value by 1. So they can keep doing that, though obviously you only have 1 reaction each round when they would otherwise be knocked out.
Yeah, okay. He'll use his quick draw
Nice.
with his bow. He's like,
See if this takes you down, big man.
and shoot at him. Composite?
18 hits.
Flat-footed is one,
Yep, that definitely hits. And don't forget your sneak attack.
which means it does the sneak attack, which is 1d6 precision.
Nice. And that is enough. Knowing exactly how it works, you look for an opening in his armor left by Celia's strike with her sword, and this arrow goes flying straight in. Thunk! And the man with a wheeze, you clearly hit a lung, goes tumbling down to the ground. Dead. One action.
Hell
left.
yeah. Oh no, quick draw 2. Wait, is it? That
No,
wouldn't make sense.
then it wouldn't have any benefit to it.
Yeah, true.
I assume it's 1.
Can you see the other people?
You can see the one up in the tree over here, fairly far away.
Okay. He just wants to get out of the line of sight then.
Yeah, completely. There's the cliff here, and there's the rubble over here that you could use to block line of sight.
Get behind that. Oh wait.
Sure.
Whoops. Then. Is he out of line of sight of her?
Certainly out of sight of the sharpshooter, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who wanted to be out of line of sight of.
Perfect. Right. Put it here. Astride. 5 feet. I don't want to get too close. Going to step there, and then with their final action, they are going to fire a sling at Celia. Does not hit. Primrose.
Primrose is gonna. He's not thing. Just gonna put the tree right here.
Oh, hell yeah. Sector tree blooms from the ground. Beautiful tree.
Yes.
The boughs kind of fade to an etherealness. Very cool.
Yeah. Oh. No, 10 HP. Yeah. And my final one, she's gonna. Is that a touch? What is that? Give guidance to Celia.
Very nice.
That's it.
Nice, efficient. Can we come up with a good choice of guidance? Light. Morrigan, your turn.
That's me. Yeah. I can't see any baddies though.
Yeah, you know that there is someone in a tree, but quite far away to the north, up this way.
Yeah, but I can see something in a tree in the rocks there as
Yes, you kind of see the edge of an individual up on the cliffs there.
well. Can I just kind of start making my way over?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Cool. Then that's going to be my actions. Let me just...
Yeah, one action to stride, 30 feet.
Yeah, probably be like, guys, there's somebody over there. There's more up ahead.
Oh.
And that's
Did
as
we
far as
stay
I can
back
get.
here? Oh.
Oh, it's a toad boy!
Yep, so 2 actions to get there. Yeah, 1 action left.
I mean, was it an action to talk to anyone?
No,
No. Okay, I didn't know. I'm not sure what counts and what doesn't at this point.
unless the talking goes on for ages, it's all free.
Okay. I don't. I mean, I know who that is, but Morrigan wouldn't, right?
So, as you come round the corner, Morrigan, George, perhaps you could describe your character for people.
I don't know.
just some basic visual elements.
He's like, how tall is like a frog in this universe? Like this frog person.
Frog person would probably be a little bit shorter, like between 4 and 5 feet, I would say.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what you really need, right?
Yeah, 4 to 5 feet tall, frog man.
4 to 5 feet. Like, yeah, it's a frog.
Yep.
Nice.
Kind of leather clothes and bits and pieces, or basic clothing, really, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Tattered cape. Yeah.
I try to look cool.
Excellent. So yeah, Morrigan, you're confronted with this assailant, this frogman. What do you do with your final action?
I'm debating on
Punch it.
phasing familiar or protect companion.
Yeah, you want to keep Revna safe?
What? I assumed he was in the tattoo.
You could
Okay.
you could command Revner.
If you want Revner to be in the tattoo for the fight, that's absolutely fine.
No, I want him out.
Okay. So yeah, with your final action, you can give Revner 2 actions.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's me then.
Yeah, and then what do you want Revner to do? He's got 40 feet movement speed.
See, I don't know what to do because my sensible brain is like, we don't know he's a good guy, but I'm like, I don't want to kill George's character in the first session he ever plays it.
Nobody worry about anybody dying. It's all in hand. This is. I know it's a strange way for a character or a player to join, but nobody worry. Just play as you would.
Yeah.
So Revner, 40
Wait,
feet catching up with you, or
is he on the cliffs, or like is he on like within reach?
he's within reach. This side of the cliff is where the ground kind of comes down sharply at the side, so you are within reach of him.
I imagine she'll just try and get Revner to try and get him.
Yeah. So Revner will need to use both actions just to catch up to you, but can come up to your side there. Yeah. So a
Good
turn
boy.
kind of exposing the assailants on the cliffs.
Mhm.
Well, you've got peepers. You've got an opponent in front of you. One of the people you're attacking has come running straight up to you with what looks like a very large wolf with black fur, and a tall elven woman with eye tattoos on her cheeks. Kind of sprints towards you. What do you do? And same for you. Don't worry about anybody killing
acting.
anyone. Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
you'd just be acting for me because I'm the enemy in this encounter.
No, I think it'd be fun for you to have some combat.
Do the thing. 1, 2, 3. How does this work again?
You've got your stance.
I got the stance. Does it cost an action to go into the stance?
It does, but then you're in it until otherwise, so you don't have to do it every turn.
He's a monk.
Yeah, I'm a monk. Alright, we'll stance up then.
Morrigan might be about to have a bad time.
Yep.
Insta fucking kill.
Don't say that. I'm excited to see what voice George is going to give him.
Oh,
There's no
yes.
pressure on voices or anything,
yeah,
but
do not expect much.
yeah, no worries.
I do not do a voice either, so you're good.
How do I stance up again?
You just tell me. You spent an action. You can click it on your character sheet if you like, so it goes in the chat to remind you of what it does.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dagger stance. So Morrigan, you see the frogman kind of take this low stance with his hands up in front of him, with his fingers curled like claws.
Oh shit. She probably just like she closed her eyes and you'd see the 2 tattoo eyes close as well. Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm gonna do the little fist and warning sign for tiger stance.
Claws that rend. Alright.
Yep.
They call this one the Davy maneuver. Run in and die.
Clearly, I have learned nothing.
2 actions left. What's the plan?
Oh, I don't remember how this works. One sec.
No worries at all.
Beat the shit out of me, George.
Yeah,
You've
you're
got-
the boss.
You got flurry of blows. You can do your intimidate thing if you want to lower their AC and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I can attack diagonally. Fuck, I forgot.
Yes, absolutely you can. Yeah.
That's right. I don't need to move to attack.
Damn it.
No.
Alright, yeah, roll for intimidate.
Let's do it. So if you roll your intimidate, and it will be against Morrigan's will DC, which is probably quite good. 18. You got to hit. Oh, there you go. So that's a success. Meet it to beat it. So the frog man bows low, the claws come up, and these large frog eyes open wide and stare at you. And Morrigan,
It's Hypnotoad!
you can't help but flinch in fear. And you are frightened 1, lowering your AC.
I got the perfect gift.
Incredible.
What is
gift.
her AC now? Like,
Her AC is 16 now. Now you know why he's called Peepers. Here come the flurry of blows, I assume.
Alright, yeah. Technical attack number 1 and number 2.
Good. 20 hits. Oh, 25 definitely hits as well. But mercifully low damage.
Bad rolls, my specialty.
Yep.
I don't do a voice for Scrick either. So there you go.
Yep. 7 damage to Morrigan as 2 slashing attacks striking forward. The second one was nearly a crit.
At least you're not playing Scrick and I'm playing Babette, Kieran, because otherwise George would think this was really weird.
And I believe at the end of your turn, Keepers, that you have something called Stunning Fist.
Do I?
Or what's it called? Yeah, Stunning Fist. It's one of your feats. Oops, that's me.
No, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna die.
When you target the same creature with 2 strikes from your flurry of blows, you can try to stun the creature. If either strike hits and deals damage, which they both did, the target must succeed at a Fortitude save against your class DC to be stunned 1, stunned 3 on a critical failure. It's an incapacitation effect. Your class DC should be on your character pane. Yeah, 19. So Morrigan, could you roll a Fortitude save for me, please?
No. No, I
once,
can't.
once you have recovered yourself, if you could roll a Fortitude save, please. Just above your HP on that character sheet. If you're using the
There
new
it is.
character sheet. Yeah.
I am.
18 is a failure, not a critical failure. You are
That's-
stunned 1. I think it's the first time we've had the stunned condition. Actually. So the rest of you, I love the thought of Primrose just like blooming the tree up and just thinking like, I will protect us all, and then just turning around and seeing
Yep.
Morrigan fucking running off into the distance,
yeah.
where you see 2 little frog
Hello.
hands go boom boom, and she's just standing there like stunned.
I'm just imagining like Colin Creevy in Harry Potter where he gets
just
frozen by the
falls
basilisk.
So, stunned. You've become senseless. You can't act while stunned. Stunned usually includes a value which indicates how many total actions you lose, possibly over multiple turns from being stunned. Each time you regain action, such as the start of your turn, reduce the number you regain by your stun value, then reduce your stun. Okay, so it's kind of like frightened. So you're stunned 1, so next turn you'll only get 2 actions. Yes, Smurf, what?
Sorry, I thought you were done. Is Revna also stunned?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's a shame
Revna-
because I was
Oh.
quite enjoying the image of him like completely frozen with his legs like sticking straight up in the air like a sheep.
Like one of those screaming goats. Excellent. Right. Very effective turn there, Peepers. The Brute is done. The Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter sees that Morrigan is well handled, and that the main issue is this orc lady. So the Sharpshooters take a shot. No. Alt double click. With the crossbow that's been reloaded. 10 does not hit. 1 action to reload. And the third action, they're going to try and shoot. Yeah, they're going to try and shoot a bowler bolt at you. It still uses the same multiple attack penalty. Very unlikely to hit. Yeah. So this time, the first bolt comes down and you can see it like spark off the cliffs nearby, but the second one, Celia, it's like a spinning bowler, the weighted ends of a rope coming towards you to try and trap you, but you manage to deflect it with your sword. Villain's turn. Right, she's got a bit of space. Now... Wait, where is Gwilyn?
She's back here.
There we go.
Can I ask her to step up when he's next to the protector tree?
Absolutely. We'll to spend 2 actions, but that's absolutely fine. And she's going to shoot back at the one in the tree. Is 1 range increment out for a short bow. Leave. So.
Could she have not stood here?
Oh, you want her to be right next to you? I thought you wanted to... Oh, no, because, yeah.
It's still next to
Jason's
you, right?
the tree just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Tactics. So she'll make a singular normal shot, not using her archer's aim ability. With a -2 for the range. Yeah, she's not rolling very well today, that's fine. Celia.
1 action to get to here, because I've got 20 movement speed now, I believe.
Righto.
Because of... I believe that's correct. Character.
Your armor, I imagine?
Yes. 2 movements to get to here. Wait, hold on. There.
Mm-hmm.
3 movements to get to here. That's what I'll do for now. I'll just dash all the way up.
Yep, comes charging up to support Morrigan and Revna. Grick.
Can Scrick see that person there?
Because you're up on the cliffs, yeah.
Okay. What do they look like, just out of interest?
It's a short humanoid, a gnomish male looks like, with a thick kind of mustachy beard, covering most of the bottom half of their face, and a very colourful hat and scarf. Kind of leaning over the edge of the cliff, using a sling to pelt rocks down at your companions.
Okay, he's going to try and recall knowledge to see.
Very nice.
Weakness.
It will
Society?
be society again, yeah. What do we get?
Oh, yeah, that was an 8. No, wait, it was 15.
Ooh, a 15 is a failure, I'm afraid.
Right.
Yeah, this
okay.
person's dressed in quite outlandish gear. You're not sure what their deal is.
Yeah, okay. He'll reload his crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's going to move up to this tree up here and get under it.
Very cool. The bandit spends 1 action to reload the sling. Sees that there might be an opening to go after Gwilyn, so it's gonna make this way down. It's too far. Here. And he's gonna sling at you, Primrose.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to hurt Gwilyn.
Sling at me.
Sling! 22!
Ooh. Yeah, it does.
For
But tree?
9 damage. Tree! Does tree take all the damage?
HP. Yes.
Very cool.
I think. Wait, hang on. Let me check. But I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. The rock comes flying out with nasty precision, this like polished pebble towards you, and the tree just shifts its body down, and the pebble breaks through some of the branches, but no harm to you. That is his full turn.
Ooh.
Your turn.
Oh, thank you, tree. That nearly hit me. Oh, careful, Gwilyn. Primrose is going to use the staff of water
Oh!
and do this.
Oh, very nice. 20 definitely hits as well.
Yeah.
13 damage. You call forth a powerful blast of pressure water. Oh wow! So from the staff, like this, like
Yeah.
jet of water fires out. Not a crit, but 3d6 plus. It's knocked back 5 feet. And I'll say, because the rock's there, roll an extra d6 because it's getting knocked into a nasty,
Yeah.
solid surface. 19 damage. The little gnome just gets shot off his feet, flying back and slammed into the rock. It's very wet. Gnome picks himself up afterwards. Morrigan, you only have 2 actions this round, but the stunned condition will now wear off.
Is that 3 actions to use that?
No, I moved as well.
Oh, you moved as well, sorry.
So, Morrigan, you have 2 actions.
See, I'm torn
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking this guy's just stunned me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my revenge.
Yeah.
Morrigan is probably too sensible to think this. She'd probably think, probably better get away from him. Probably best not to fuck with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna telekinetic projectile at this guy in the tree.
Ooh, the guy up in the tree.
Yeah.
You are definitely in range. Yeah. If you want to roll that for me. 2 actions, telekinetic projectile. As you fling the projectile upwards, rock from the ground goes flying towards the dwarf, who manages to roll to the side, and the rock strikes just where his head was before. Just missing, I'm afraid. Unless you'd like to
Rubbish.
hero point.
Nah.
Okay. Beepers! Your turn
It's
once
me.
more.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
How do I check how far I can move again? Thank you.
It should be on your character sheet.
Is it speed?
It's speed, yes.
Okay.
You're speedy as a monk.
I certainly am. So I can move 35 feet with 1 token.
You can indeed.
Nice.
Remember that the second diagonal, when you do it, costs.
Oh, diagonals cost more. Okay.
The first diagonal is only 5 feet like normal, but every other diagonal you do costs 10
Okay.
to represent the extra movement.
First. Just mathing this out, sorry.
No worries.
I don't
It's
think
turn-based, grid-based.
I don't think I'd make it back there. That would be a foolish thing to do. So, I'm going to continue doing what I do best and beating on the injured.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Flurry of blows, again,
Very nice.
on Morrigan.
First action, flurry of blows.
Swing once.
2 tiger claw strikes.
Nailed it.
First one's critical failure. You have a hero point, just as much as anybody else does if you'd like to use it for that first one.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. So roll again, no
On the
penalty.
first- on the first
Yeah.
one. Nailed it.
Whee! So yeah. Flurry is the word. Strike with the tiger claws, but this time the elf woman is wise to your moves and manages to tumble out of the way.
Would Flurry have the second attack bonus?
It does have the second attack.
Oh,
but,
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What? I was not aware of this.
What, the second attack in flurry of blows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it existed. I didn't realize it got the penalty.
You rolled it correctly.
I'm confused.
No, I know. I didn't think it got like the penalty. I thought it was. Just,
Oh,
like,
I see.
Too quick, like first strikes.
That's what I
No,
thought.
it gets the penalty.
Oh, dang. Well, no.
I triple checked.
Now what?
Wrong.
I'm fucking out of here.
But the strike's missing. The frogman springs away.
I know I can leave. So 35 feet to move here for 1.
Very nice.
Gosh, we can jump through the fields together.
I'm not about that life. And then another 35 to move here.
Very cool. So, like, sprinting across the tops of the cliffs, the frogman moves all the way around. The sharpshooter, seeing as Morrigan attacked him, he's going to attack Morrigan. 1 action to reload. And actually, seeing as people are closing in, he's going to do the smart thing. 1 action to reload his crossbow.
Mm. Lagged out.
Kind of looks down at you with a grimace. Primrose just like, I'm sorry, don't know what's gotten into me.
Okay,
And
we always make mistakes.
she will. Seeing as Delia's gone now, she's going to back up, but still be within range of Protector Tree. She'll move. Delia, your turn.
Where did the
The frog
dwarf
man
go?
ran, and the man in the tree disappeared.
Great. For fuck's sake. I guess I'm trudging it back. I'll get up to this guy. I'll Orcish Blood Rush, because... For fuck's sake.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I'll make an attack against this guy.
Awesome.
Mm.
5 damage. Strike true. He looks pretty weak now.
That's it.
Was it 3?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you're 20 feet, right?
Yep. I'm a mobile AF.
Curses. Scrick, your turn.
Can he beat the frogman? I assume so.
The frogman's not hiding, so yeah.
Peers out around the corner. He's like, Gwen, watch out for the frogman! We see Celia take on that guy. I think he's just going to loose his shot at the gnome to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Miss.
That will miss.
So he's running that way. Doesn't really want to get involved with the frogman in melee.
Mm.
Come on. Oh, shoot. Then that guy in the tree can see him. He'll get around the tree. And he'll try and recall knowledge about the frogman.
Oh, hell yeah! I gotta set the DC for this. I have a DC in mind.
Society.
Yep, society.
18.
That hit the DC. What is Scrick trying to figure out? So you're successful, so he's flat-footed to you, but what is Scrick trying to figure out?
Has he seen a frogman before or just read about him?
No, he's definitely seen frogmen before. Gripply, which are not the same as the frog, the kind of more wild, more primitive frog folk that you fought in the swamp, the artificial swamp before. Gripply are uncommon in Hespia, but not super rare. In Lumen, you probably had traveling Gripply come through sometime. You know, they often, as a kind of folk, prefer to be near water or more kind of swampy, humid climates. And as such, like, Lumen itself isn't greatly suited for it. But yeah, you know, you also figure out that he's clearly, as recognized, a melee expert. He seems to have this kind of martial art stance and be very fast on his feet.
Okay, so this is next action. He's like, oh god, I hope he didn't see me. And he's going to drop a lesser smoke stick
Amazing. Screen of thick, opaque smoke in a burst centered on one corner of your space.
So like,
Radius of the burst is 5 feet. So which corner of your space? That one there.
yes, seeing as he seems to be moving south.
Scrick like inks like a squid with fear from the frogman. On that corner for 5 feet, so yeah, it'd be like that. Thick smoke billows out from the alchemical stick as you strike the top of it, covering that area. Very cool. Is that all your actions?
That's it.
Very nice.
God, the tree's
The
on fire.
bandit. The bandit's in a lot of trouble, but it's desperate for the prize for Gwilyn. Gonna step away from Celia, so no attack of opportunity, and it's gonna stride past Primrose, recognizing a spellcaster when he sees one. And this final action is gonna attack
No.
Gwilyn. 17 is a hit. 9 damage. Gosh, actually no. He's doing it non-lethally, so it would actually have been 7 damage.
Protect a tree, take any?
No, I got that wrong. Yeah, non-lethal is -2 to hit, not -2 to the damage. So yeah, that actually misses. You can see he tries to use the handle of his hand axe to kind of knock her out, but she manages to tuck, and it just glances off her shoulder. Very nice. Teach him for trying to take her alive. Primrose, it is your turn. As their colourfully dressed gnome scurries past you and attacks Gwilyn.
Oh, Dion. You get away from Gwilyn. And she's gonna do the thing. Gonna do the thing.
Oh,
The new thing. Okay. So she's gonna channel element.
whoa.
So you just see a bunch of petals, leaves, and grasses sort of flow around Primrose in a 10-foot emanation.
That's big.
And as she does that, that means she can do this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wing or hurl it. 1d8 bludgeoning or vitality. 7, it is enough. So what does Primrose
Yeah.
fling out towards the gnomish bandit?
Yeah, well, as her element is wood, essentially, you get like, all these like little bits of wood and petals and leaves and dandelions specifically all come out in a big clump and hit this guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Form up from the aura.
Just knock him to the ground, and he goes tumbling over, knocked out, cold, and dead. So cool! Is that the kineticist multi
Archetype.
thing? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's the
awesome.
archetype thing, yeah. So Dandy's a bit useless now, but it's okay, he's just a non-combatant now. With
Yeah,
a bit of
yeah,
healing.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Very, very cool. Morrigan, it is your turn. Morrigan, what did you do to yourself? Oh, that's brutal. Her laptop fell off the bed and on the point fell onto her foot.
Ooh.
And
Ouchie,
she got
ouchie,
stabbed
ouchie.
by her laptop.
Felt that.
Brutal.
And
Realistically,
actually,
how do I always manage to just damage myself in the most idiotic of ways?
I don't know how you managed to get your laptop to stab you. Sorry, Primrose, did you have one more action?
yeah.
My
Hang on,
apologies.
if I make it a 2-action blast, go to the con mod. Well, I'm confused. Okay, so just add con mod to it, I guess.
Yeah.
To make it 2 actions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just add the con mod.
Okay, cool.
Which I had to up in order to take the kineticist to 2. So it was 1, and now it's 2.
So is it always 2 for you, or is it? You know, you can do
It's
the
3
1
now.
to just do the damage, and then 2 for add the con mod.
So I can do it again at penalty, I think, or just add the 2 as a con mod onto it.
Okay, got it. Cool, cool, cool. That's interesting. Morrigan. There was a sharpshooter up in this tree who disappeared from sight. But also the
Okay.
frogman has gone sprinting off down this way.
Brilliant. She's probably sensible enough to know not to follow the frogman.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try and shake the tree?
Shake the tree. Do you have any?
Do I have to shake the tree action?
You can absolutely use actions to shake the tree. I'm just wondering if there's a spell that would be good for this.
Not really. Thundering dominance.
What's the cantrip you've got? Telekinetic something?
Telekinetic
Projectile.
projectile. That would certainly add to it. I'll say if you want to use 2 actions to shake the tree, kind of using your mental ability to move matter as well, then I'll make it a roll.
Okay.
This could be quite amusing. Let's make it a spell attack roll, because that takes into account your spellcasting ability as well. And I have a DC in mind. So if you can roll a D20 plus 8, please. Because I know you can't.
Oh,
do
baby.
anything annoying.
Oh no.
It beats the DC. So, with your mind, you focus, and the eye tattoos on your cheeks glow as you focus on the tree itself. And the tree begins to shake violently back and forth as if a great gusting whirlwind were around it. And you hear, from the air itself, you hear a and plummeting and thumping into the ground nearby. I said 15 feet up. And the first 5 feet don't count, so the creature takes 10 damage. Very good. That is your full turn. Beepers!
You got it. Okay. Well, that tree caught on fire, and I don't know why, so I'm gonna stay away from that.
Yep, smoke billowing.
My guys on the ground don't appear to be doing very well.
2 of them look pretty much dead, yep.
They appear to have been killed by some kind of rabbit.
Yep.
Yep, some kind of gigantic rabbit person.
I could rush the target after what happened last time. I'm not sure that's a great idea. Rabbits or something.
Maybe.
Roll intimidation check on Primrose.
Oh, awesome. The peepers glare down at Primrose. Intimidate, please.
Intimidate. 17.
Ooh, what's your will save, Primrose? Or will DC? So your will save plus 10.
11.
Wait, what?
So it would be 11 plus 10 is 21. So you glare down at this little rabbit, and the rabbit just looks up at you with the cutest little face, blinking the eyes, and you feel your angry faces loses out in the contest of wills.
Oh, whatever. We'll do this the easy way. Alright. Move down.
Yep, you got plenty of movement.
Blue and flurry of blows on Primrose.
Very good.
1 sec.
Tiger strikes.
Tiger strike 1.
17 to hit you, Primrose.
That misses.
That misses.
Dot. And 15.
Missed as well.
Misses as well.
The tiger strikes. Go forward. Primrose kind of wheeling back on your legs towards the protector tree. Is unharmed
Yep.
for now.
Under the
Sharpshooter.
bushes, under the trees.
Oh shit, you would have been prone. So, one action to stand up, one action to move. Final action to shoot at Morrigan. Suddenly from over here, a heavily bruised sharpshooter is going to shoot at Morrigan. And crossbow. Terrible. Misses entirely, even with the bonus from being hidden. Willow. Seeing the scary frogman is going to back up to here, and then Archer's aim +2 to this, shooting at the frog. Misses entirely. Celia, your turn.
Gonna move behind. Gonna move behind the frog to get
Very good.
flanking.
So flanking.
And then I'm
Flat-footed to you.
gonna power attack. So
Very
long
cool.
sword.
The huge swipe downwards. Power attack. The frog nimbly sidesteps and the sword slams into the ground.
Even with the flanking.
Scrick. Even with the flanking, I'm afraid.
Can I hero point it then?
This. You can, yeah. Ooh, that will hit. For 11 plus 7 for 18 damage. A heavy blow. Scrick, your turn.
Is the gnome guy still alive?
The gnome guy is not. He got
Okay.
petaled.
Okay, he can see that then. He's concealed as well, right? He can't see anything out of this fog.
The way concealment works is you can see fine. You can see out and in, but anyone trying to attack you or you trying to attack out has to do that whole flat check thing whenever you try and attack. If you roll less than a 5, it fails.
I'm just gonna move up behind this thing here. Oh, he's gonna reload.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mad people on the frogman who didn't want to get involved with him anyway. He's gonna take a shot at this guy here.
Oh, the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in range. Normal shot. And the arrow flies across. Oh, the critical hit. Press that button for rolling critical damage. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's because it's got the deadly trait, so it gets an extra d10. And
Just nice to meet you. I don't know why I said that.
as the arrow goes flying across, streaking through the air, and just thunk into the side of the head as the figure tumbles down to the ground.
You call out, yeah, frogman, you better give up. Your friends are all dead.
Frogman, or peepers to some, you've seen this before. Your bandit crew dying around you, and you've always had the survival instincts to do the smart thing. What do you do here?
Am I running?
Is it time? Well, is it time to surrender to these guys?
Well, there's a rat to the left of me. There's a rabbit right behind me.
Yep.
That orc lady doesn't look too nice considering she just nearly lopped off my arm.
Yep.
I'm gonna call it quits.
Yep. The hands go up,
Surrender.
and Peepers surrenders. Now, of course, I know this is a little bit railroady with everyone coming together, but and I assume that people are...
I want to kill him, Tom. I want to kill George's character.
Fuse! I will kill him!
No, I'm obviously joking.
Very cool. Whoosh. Battle music diminishes.
Where's that gif, Hannah?
All these gifts are
It's
incredible.
cute.
Where's my damn music?
Uh,
There it is. So, with the the gnome lying down with various bits of plant life sticking out of his body, the orc smashed to the ground, and the sharpshooter with an arrow sticking out of his head. Peepers, you certainly think when your bandit crew decided it would be a good idea to try and grab the target, you weren't banking on such a capable group of adventurers. For the rest of you, this motley crew ambushed you, much kind of reminds you almost of Sorky Salt Crunch at the start of
Rest
Sea
in
Spray,
peace.
where many of them just went down like a sack of shit. But this one seems a bit more capable and has put his hands, his frog-like hands up in the air, to surrender. How would you be reacting?
Cautiously at first. Primrose is holding up a hand to cast magic, but stops. Sort of looks over at Celia and is like, he looks like he's given up. What do you think we should still? I don't think we should. But, are you gonna be good now, Frogman?
I don't know if good's the right word. I'm
Oh,
certainly not going to attack you anymore.
Okay, well that's good. I'd say that's good. Andy, what do you think? Holds him up.
The diminutive form of Dandy, your familiar Primrose, the leaves kind of shake, leans forward and peers at the Frogman, and then just kind of has a happy little butt wiggle back onto your head and seems satisfied.
Well, Dandy approves, and I listen to Dandy most of the time.
I'm sorry in advance, George, but this is what my character would do. Celia's going to punch him in the face.
Yep, that's fair enough.
And then just be like, don't mess with my girlfriend, basically. And then move over here.
Yep. And you see Gwilyn has put the mask back on. This porcelain mask to conceal herself. She puts a kind of steadying hand on your shoulder, Celia.
And if you try anything funny again, the tree's still here, just so you know. Don't mess with the tree. And she's steps away from you.
Grit, go over to this guy. He's shot in the head.
Yep.
He's gonna turn his head over and he's gonna be like, "Mama, that's an impressive shot." And he's gonna look down and he's like, "I wonder if I can get that arrow out. It can be my lucky arrow." And he's gonna try and get it out without breaking it.
Okay. Do a sleight of hand check for me to see if you can retrieve the arrow without breaking it.
He's like, "Come on, old Lucky. You haven't failed me yet. Don't do it now." What's sleight of hand?
Oh, sorry. It's thievery. Thievery in Pathfinder.
Come on.
Oh, with aplomb. You wiggle, jiggle it. There's a little bit of blood comes out. You turn it to align with where the arrow sides had cut through, and almost like a lockpick, you manage to pull the arrow out of the dead dwarf's head. You also notice that the dwarf has 2 more of those bowler bolts if you wanted to take them.
Oh yeah, he'd take them.
Yeah, they have to be fired from a crossbow
Oh yeah.
rather than a bow. But they essentially, if you hit with your shot, the target has a chance. It's almost like netting someone. The target has a chance to be tied up and immobilized. With them, they deal no damage. Good for hunting people.
He'll take that arrow.
Yep, 2 bowler
And he'll
bolts. Oh, and
and
your
a
lucky
bowler
arrow.
bolt. Yeah, and he'll walk over to the frogman,
Mm-hmm.
wherever he is, and be like, "This is, I'm Scrick," and he holds up the arrow. "This is old Lucky. Now, you gonna tell us why you're trying to
steal that girl over there?
Well, you know what a wanted poster is, I'm assuming. It's a little something I like to read.
I believe it's one of those things they put up that says you're wanted. By someone.
Exactly.
And where'd you find it?
Well, where did I find it?
You would have been given it or shown it by the gnome leader, Yerky, now dead on the floor. He would have gotten it from within Crucible, actually, a very large capital city to the north of here that you've travelled from many days ago, probably 20, 25 days ago. You were in Crucible, and
Oh gosh.
no, that doesn't track at all. It would have to be less than that. It would be, since I've actually set up the calendar now. You would have had, here we go, I'm working it out in my own world. The wanted poster would have had to have been given to Yerky at Tilda's Touch, which is closer than Crucible, but you would have travelled from Crucible before then, so you know the city. And it would have been about 7 days ago. So yeah, you got given the poster about 7 days ago.
Frogman would be like, well, you got more of a brain than your friend over there. And he points to a guy shot in the head.
Whose brain is like falling out.
Not many people surrender. Celia, if what's your name? Frogman?
What's your name, Frogman?
Well, my friends usually call me Peepers. Well, with my big
Right.
eyes. But, I guess you can call me Preep, since we ain't exactly friends. Why am I
Sounds
talking about
about
this?
It's
It's
great.
infectious.
Go with it, man.
Yo, why not? Boy, I said boy.
I said boy.
Preep's the name.
Yeah, Prepaid saying there's wanted posters everywhere, and if they're coming down, we're probably gonna expect some more.
Yeah.
How
It's a
much?
bit worrisome that it's gotten so far, the wanted posters.
Probably should have kept Lorik around.
Yeah.
How much they paying you on that wanted poster?
Not as much as I'd like, but if I want to have him make it home properly. Yeah, with, well, 4 of us and around 25 gold from me, but I'm the bottom of the barrel. I don't know, you'd have to look at the poster properly to get the gold amount. I don't know how much like gold is in this.
No, that was good improv. Yeah, if you guys collected the poster from the gnome, you'd see that the ransom, which you know was nowhere near as high before in Sea Spray, has been up to 200 gold pieces.
Jesus.
Jeebily. Oh my gosh, that is quite a lot. And we might have a lot of people after you, Gwynn.
Yeah, Gwilyn, who's kind of taken the mask down now, there's no point, but this guy's already seen her. Looks quite pale. She's like, God, and just kind of says to herself, but loud enough for you all to hear, just like, damn it, Dad.
Sweetleaf, how much gold did you have on you again?
On me,
Yeah.
I think after buying a few drinks and bits and pieces, I've got maybe 30 gold left.
How about he looks to Peepers and just says, how about we give you 12 up front and we'll give you another 16, let's say, once we get to Crucible. If you
Sounds like oh, excuse me.
That's alright. If you well, let's do a big swap on this old mission of yours. If you keep her safe from others of, she kind of looks at the dead gnome on the floor, others of your kinship, then well, you're looking at a certified businessman here, and just looks at Scrick.
Yeah, that's me. What about you come along and show where those posters are, and we give you the money protector, and we call it even for trying to kill her?
I guess that sounds like a reasonable suggestion. All right,
And
got
if
yourselves a deal.
you try and steal her in the night, I'll cut your hands off.
If you try and steal it in the night, he'll cut your hands off, and then I'll cut your head off.
I don't doubt that for a second.
And I'll give you some splinters.
Yeah, but as you say that, the camera pans to the gnome on the floor with like splinters and petals and bits of all sorts
Yep.
sticking out of his dead body.
Exactly. And the aura doesn't stop, I don't think. I think it was an oversight. I don't think it stops.
I think
combat.
it stops when you use higher level stuff, but I guess for your archetyping, yeah, it probably doesn't.
There's only there's like three
Sorry,
ways
go
it
on.
stops, I think. It's if you use an overflow impulse, you stop it yourself, and there's another way as well, but I can't remember what it is. But otherwise, it just keeps going.
I love it. Not Blossom, God, sorry. Primrose is constantly surrounded by blossoms, by flowers and such around her.
Oh God, being
The
surrounded by
manifestation.
blossoms.
I know, terrifying.
That is an unpleasant.
That's not terrifying. That sounds amazing.
Anya, what were you
Tom
going to
just
say?
had like Tyrion
did.
flashbacks.
Equals us. Has anybody watched Another Period? I've been trying to
Nope.
get Kieran to watch that show for ages.
I've not
It
even.
takes a critical amount of time until I watch something.
Yeah,
I've not even heard
It's-
of it.
it's this really
and say,
underappreciated comedy show about I don't even know how I describe it.
Taking the piss out of the Kardashians, but it's meant to be like 1902, and they're social climbers, but they're all awful. And basically, their butler is called Peepers. And every time you say Peepers, all I can think of is like, Peepers! And
Yeah.
there's a bit in it where someone's like, plays a trick on someone, and then they take a letter out, and he says, "Ah, yes, this is very serious. Peepers equals farts." And that. Tom said to me yesterday, "You got to find a way to make it happen in the game," and it was too good to pass up.
Perfect.
I'll have to watch it.
It's very good. It's very particularly stylized. But with a tentative deal struck, and with Lorik Scalar left behind in Sea Spray, perhaps a new bodyguard, and one certainly with martial skills, is needed as you cautiously, as you're beginning to introduce yourselves to each other and break the ice, you cautiously head back onto the road.
I just realised we don't have a horse for you, Peepers. Maybe just ride in the wagon? Unless you brought your own horse?
No, the wagon will do.
Okay.
You jump up into the wagon, Peepers, and the first thing you see is a walking cauldron constantly bumping itself against the side of the inside of the wagon.
Glad it got me.
Very good. And as Scrick clambers up and hears the horses, you begin to head off further on your journey. This was the second. No, you had your pre-day. It's the third day. So we should be.
does Greg see any like weaponry on Peepers?
I don't believe Peepers carries any weaponry.
I don't think so.
Fact.
Greg would just assume that he's hiding it all and be like,
Yeah, it's fine.
You have a watchful eye, Scrick, so you would notice that Peepers does seem to have a necklace that he wears and has wraps around his hands, like a martial artist's hand wraps, that look quite resistant to kind of your standard weathering and wear and tear and stains and such. So perhaps you might conclude they are magical.
Is there anything cool he would have found on the bodies?
Yes, the bodies. So the gnome had the wanted poster with the 200 gold and which I don't know if Celia and Gwilyn would have laughed or dismayed. A very poor drawing of Gwilyn is on it, but a detailed description of her clearly given by her father. Just jumping back onto the map.
Celia's just watching Peepers.
Oh yeah.
With a fierce intensity.
The bug, or the brute, had 2 knuckle daggers and 3 javelins, and 2 silver pieces and 3 copper pieces. And the gnome has the sling, a number of sling bullets, some studded leather armor, the wanted poster, a flask, which if you opened it, you would smell clearly has very strong liquor inside.
Oh, yeah.
Has the
And before
super...
the time of horses, he'd be like, I need one for the road. Like,
Can't drink
Right.
and drive.
And he has the super colourful hat and scarf, and has an eye patch. And then has 15 gold pieces, 8 silver pieces, and 14 copper pieces. I'll write it in. 15 GP.
So he had a scarf on.
Scarf and a hat. They both look like they've been knitted and from very colourful wool.
He would put the scarf on.
Amazing. Yep, all multicoloured, the whole spectrum.
He'd take the hat as well, and you'd look at Peepers, and he's like, you want this hat? It's a bit much.
Yes.
Yeah, you give them the hat, then. Guess you're the boss of them now. Not that means much.
Excellent. The wagon trundles along. On this moor, you've chosen the much more well-built and maintained road, and so the wagon ride is a lot less bumpy. Just kind of trudging through. The sun, high fire, is fully obscured behind what looks like quite thick, heavy clouds now. And as you get towards the end of your day, droplets of rain begin to fall as the weather does shift. And those in the wagon, there is a covering to the wagon. You are kept safe. The sound of raindrops hitting the canvas above you, perhaps a comforting sound. But those out on the horses, you slowly begin to get more and more soaked by the rain falling down.
Dandy just turns into a really big leaf, like an umbrella.
Yeah. And I think Dandy periodically does the proper dog shake from side to side and sprays anybody nearby with water droplets. But the day does come to end. The 13th of Old Sin to an end. You are halfway through your journey towards the crossroads now, as we head into the 14th of Old Sin. Unless there's anything anybody would want to do for the evening, for the night, what have you. Otherwise, you will just be eating, perhaps slightly more tense atmosphere than normal, as people are still figuring out the strange Gripply fellow.
Primrose will make food in an attempt to figure out what Gripply's favourite food is.
Oh. Does Peepers have a favourite food?
I don't know.
Completely up to you.
No.
All food is equal.
Well, you'll like it with these mushrooms either way.
Ah,
And yeah, she's going to make lots of nice food with the mushrooms.
Lovely, yes. And whether people are particularly fond of the mushrooms or not, these are really a treat. And They have a lovely kind of savoury, filling and satisfying to eat. Taste them perfect for the trail, but also with a slight kind of sweetness to them that makes it feel like a real delicacy. Primrose prepares them very well, and it does help to break the ice a little as people enjoy the company. The tarpaulin from the wagon is kind of extended outwards by design to help cover the area you're in, and you manage to stoke a small fire, not as big as you'd usually be able to have, as you begin to take in the new reality of your travel. But if there's nothing else anybody else is doing, we will move to the next day.
Scrick would have been talking about his business, and he wouldn't have been leaving out any details as well.
I wonder how we're doing back there. Man, probably made loads of money.
So everyone is now fully aware of the fact that Soggy Bit, the gremlin, along with the random chaff of the sea spray gutters, has been pulled together under strict leadership to be a junk and junking and cleaning service for sea spray, and left in an otherwise abandoned warehouse to do what they do best.
As you do.
Really?
Celia's unfazed and still just watching Peepers eat closely the entire time, pretty much, and then like just gripping Gwillem's hand at the same time.
Good. The
Primrose
next
will
day,
introduce you to the many flowers as well. Just needs a bit of
Aw.
adding.
so Peepers, you are shown a number of different flowers. You begin to get a flavour of each of these characters that you've joined up with. Primrose is showing you these flowers and feeds you a lovely meal. Scrick tells everybody loudly about his strange, esoteric business practices. Celia glares at you from across the fire. And Gwillen, your previous target, probably doesn't make that much eye contact and just stares into the fire and occasionally shares private words with Celia. How does Morrigan...
She's not probably being that welcoming either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's a wariness there, and the
You
large...
definitely...
Go on, love.
I think you'd know that by now that when Morrigan is not feeling particularly trusting of her surroundings, then Revna goes back as the tattoo. So Peepers would probably be sat around the fire, and you'd see this like black ink like swooshing up her arms, and be like, "What the hell is that?" And it's Revna in the tattoo.
Yeah.
Mm.
The large black furred wolf, through magical processes, kind of disappears back into the skin of this elven woman, forming this fierce wolf tattoo across her arms and her back, seemingly held there. But the night passes. You sleep. Perhaps a little bit more watchful than before, holding watch, making sure Peepers isn't left alone to watch. As dawn breaks, the rain has left a little bit, but there is kind of a misty, foggy, drizzly start to the day. As we come to the end of the session, I would like one more roll, please, just a d20. Let's see what the day brings for you.
Fuck.
8, and then a d10, please. 6. Interesting. Okay, perfect. You set out for the day. Again, wary, but you've travelled already together for the latter half of the previous day. It's just the same again, having filled your stomachs. And still there's a warm feeling that from a good meal that came from Primrose's use of the mushrooms. In fact, I'm going to make a note that because Primrose fed you that meal, you'll all start next session with 2 points of inspiration instead of 1. Next session, 2 points inspiration. you set off trundling in the kind of drizzle. You've all got your kind of hoods of your traveling gear pulled up or whatever. You got dandy as making good use as the umbrella. You gaze out. Some of your vision is more obscured now with the fog as you travel through this kind of fog-wreathed valleys between the hills, occasionally passing other sodden travelers with their wagons. Grunts of greeting and a kind of a waved hand is the maximum of the interaction between people on the road, as people just want to get where they're going in weather like this. But as you trundle along, there's a sudden jerking motion for those in the wagon. Other people riding alongside are absolutely fine, but the wagon itself, and with a clattering of the cauldron tipping over and a little kind of yelp from Scrick and perhaps Peepers as well, the wagon tips heavily to one side, not quite capsizing completely and turning over, but leaning forward and right, as the right forward wheel has clearly gone down into what looked like just a puddle before, was actually a large dip, a big hole in the road, a pothole if you like, as the wagon leans heavily forward and is stuck fast in the road. What do you do?
It's a bit like the cauldron's trying to walk a different way and it's thrown it off balance, or is it
Not
just
at all. You think it just was it looked, Scrick, you would have sworn it was just like a shallow puddle, like there are many of them on the road with the rainy weather. But as the wheel went into it, it dipped right down, and it caused this to happen.
Could I try and brute force it and just start organising people together to try and move it? Like physically?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People get out of the wagon and begin to organize themselves. You calm the horses down at the front, unhitching them from the wagon, which was like pulling one to one side, and begin to place yourselves in a good spot to push. As you start to lean together into it, Celia definitely the strongest. You're this newcomer. Peepers also lending a fair bit of strength to it as well, as you lean forward. And you feel the wagon budge slightly, but it's not moving enough. And as you're kind of, after a few heaves, you step back, kind of panting and hands on hips, kind of surveying the problem once more. You hear a voice calling as a figure emerges from a fog nearby. A well-built, masculine figure holding the reins of what looks like an old trusty horse alongside him, the sound of the horse's hooves sploshing in the puddles, as the man calls out, just says, "Ho there! Looks like you could use a hand." And that's where we'll stop our session for today.
Nice.
Nice. Cool.
I think before they tried pushing it, Scrick would have done that thing where he gets off and he looks at Will, like,
Yep, that's a spare puddle. Looks like you've got integrity roll, so none of the spokes are gone.
like trying to do, wagon talk.
Yeah, the mechanic
Yeah.
talk. Oh yeah, classic wheel puddle. Yeah, they'll get you. Very good. Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for being on board with my slightly stilted way to get George's character in, but it all worked out rather well. I hope you enjoyed your little bit of your first session, George. I have to say, well played. A little bit of RP straight away, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Good shit. Yeah.
I fucking love tea. It's really great.
Peepers! The intimidation on Morrigan made me laugh so fucking hard. Just imagining the eyes like Morrigan's just there like, oh fuck. This frogman's scary as shit. Oh, with that stupid gif, holy crap. Amazing. Right, well, party of 5 now, and halfway. You should definitely make it to the crossroads next session. Start to figure out what happens to the light bearers.
Oh, I'm curious.
We shall see. And what happens? The fucking Baroness never got her breakfast or anything with you guys.
She didn't.
She got completely ditched, which she will not be pleased about. But there you go.
Did we
Not
even
so bad.
go to the guards and explain why there's no dragon down there as well?
Nope.
No.
You guys breezed through Sea Spray like a fucking hurricane. Just left all sorts of loose ends behind you. But completely understandably, because you're on press for time anyway, and 2, you got fucking attacked by a crazy blood cult people.
Indeed.
Oh, and I roll. Next session, this night that you guys have kind of just had, there's going to be some stuff, Morrigan, that you figured out from the book. So we'll start next session with that. I'll write a little note for that as well.
Do we get any XP?
What about
Oh, XP, absolutely. So for defeating the terrifying bandit troop of Peepers and Co., you get not that much XP, I'm afraid. You get 100 from them, and in Sea Spray, you gave the books back. Stuff. You saw Cadsworth off. Seeing Cadsworth off, I wrote this for myself ages ago. Is another 100 XP. Now remember, you're trying to get to 1,000, not 800.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are on what, 790 now? 780?
790.
Yeah.
790. Anything else? You did that. Bill Cadsworth off. I will award for great RP, which kind of wraps up Scrick stuff for the family and everything as well. Another 100 XP.
To everyone.
For everyone, yes. I don't want. I considered doing separate stuff before, but I decided I don't like that. So yeah, for everyone. So you should all be at 890 XP. So in all likelihood, level 4 awaits you next session. Yeah, we've been leveling pretty fast, but I prefer that because I want us to get a real. The start was very slow, so I think it's quite nice, kind of getting through some levels, and then we can see how we go. But yeah, thank you everyone. Does anyone know if they're not available next Sunday?
I probably won't be for at least the first half an hour to an hour.
Okay. Are you
Right.
happy for us to start?
Yeah, that's fine. You can go on about me.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Good.
No? Okay. Well, then I look forward to next Sunday. We'll continue our Lights of Lumen campaign. Thank you, everybody.
Cool.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you,
lovely evening.
everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.